got the look in your eyes. You're on a mission, burning ambition. You've got your eyes on the prize. You've gotta rise to the challenge. Show 'em what you got. Step up and take what's yours. You are kings now, clash of titans.
Did you turn
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here live, Tornado Tag Podcast.
Sure.
I don't remember what episode this is.
Ooh, I just
74,
seen it.
74.
Yeah, I just seen it.
74. If you guys are watching along, please hit that like and share, subscribe, all that cool stuff, depending on what platform you're watching this on. I'm not looking at the camera at all. I'm looking
There's
straight at
3,
my phone. All right.
Which was really helpful. Now you're sharing it to 3 places at once.
Yeah, our last podcast hit 1K.
How about it?
The only video I think we've ever done on the podcast that hit 1,000 people, which is
Yeah, that
awesome.
three services really helps.
Yeah. So we have tonight, we have, right now you only see Brian, but we have Brian remote, and he's, now
What are you
he's,
talking about? I'm clearly melded into the table. now.
yes, and then we also have Curtis joining us from the PA Pile Driver podcast, the only
yeah, we're
podcast
back.
that matters.
Yes, sir. You already know.
I already know. And then also we are joined by a super fan. It's not plugged in, so we could say it. The Alexis is here.
Oh, okay.
I always say Alexis or Alexa, and then it goes, "Hi, how can I help you?" And I'm like, "Shut up."
Yeah. I remember I used to say Alexa Bliss, and then it would turn on.
Yeah. Yeah. And then her dad is joining us tonight as well. So this is a little birthday gift. She always wants to be a part of the podcast. Or she supports us, so we wanted to let her come on and talk wrestling with us tonight. We had you on one time on the phone,
Yes.
and this is your first time in the studio.
Yeah.
That's clearly not a kitchen.
Yes.
Yeah, we're in the complex. That's what we tell people.
Yeah.
The curtains literally just hide it all.
Yeah.
Minus the pipe that's showing back there, but we
You
don't.
can't
we
even
won't-
see it.
Yeah.
even see
So,
it.
how's it feel to be here?
It feels weird, honestly,
I'm
because
gonna
I'm
turn
not.
you up. You're too soft spoken.
Yeah.
Oh, we're out to the wrong mic. Go ahead.
It feels weird because I'm not watching through a phone or a computer.
Even though you are.
Yeah, I technically am, but technically ain't. But
So,
it's,
you excited?
yes.
You nervous?
Yes.
No,
Alright.
he'll be nervous. She has Dame shirt on.
Yeah, you're wearing the Dame,
Yeah.
the queen of the booty style, Dame.
Yeah, I have an Ed House shirt. It's all the same colors. It's a little bit darker pink. It
Yeah.
said like, arrive, drop elbow, milkshake, leave. And it says Ed
Drop
House on the
elbow,
back.
milkshake
Yeah.
leaf. Ed House is a national treasure. That guy is fantastic. Yeah, Dame is also one of your all other fans. You
Yeah.
help. You run like 14 fan pages.
Yeah. There's a lot. I forget the passwords to half of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, I
so-
can imagine.
And then you also started making groups with other fans your age,
Yes.
like a little female crew you guys got,
Yeah.
and you guys show your support to the indie scene that way too, which I think is very important. And you also have aspirations at one point to possibly train and do this.
Yes.
How do you feel about that, Pops?
Listen, I'll support anything she wants to do as long as she doesn't get hurt.
Okay. Well,
Whatever. Like
not
it's,
hurt
it's
a lot.
cool.
Yeah.
Not hurt a lot, yeah.
No,
So,
I
but
mean, you know,
if you hurt, just don't
seriously
tell
injured.
anybody.
It's,
Yeah.
It's like any parent has that fear. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Absolutely.
Of anything our
But
kids doing.
If that's what she wants to do,
Yeah.
who am I to stand in the way of that?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
If she wants to do it, bad enough, and I'm going to stop her, she's just going to leave and do it anyway.
Yep.
So if I support her, at least maybe she can be successful.
There you
Yeah,
go. Yeah.
absolutely. So the cool thing is like me growing up with female wrestling, it was not good.
Or non-existent when I was.
Or non-existent.
Maybe got a match on the pay-per-view
Yeah.
back in the day, and then in the '90s got a couple. And
but
then
it was
it was
more
good,
like
and then it went real bad again.
we'll just get supermodels who can't
Yeah,
wrestle,
who just roll around the ring,
and now it's a
and
point
we'll
where
give them 3 minutes.
they actually they're getting the same amount of training, they're getting taken the same respect in
You know,
every
and
company.
A lot are better
So-
than the guys.
Yeah, so you're coming in at the right time, like to start really being a fan and supporting this movement. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, we have all the links below if you guys want to follow along, hang out. I didn't, Curtis, I do apologize. I didn't get to put any links in for PA Pile Driver.
Ugh.
But you
Did it
head
on
over to
pur- did it
PA
on
Pile
purpose.
Driver Podcast
Oh,
Oh.
his key cut out.
Oh, we're already here doing this again. This audio.
You know what? While you're at it, do it to Brian too, just to check, to make sure.
The audio thing is messed up.
Yep, and it did. It knocked them both
All right,
out.
it should be good now. Talk. Somebody talk. Somebody talk. Brian,
Oh man, can they not hear us?
can you not hear us?
Or did Brian freeze?
I don't know what's
Technical
happening.
thing. So every so often.
Oh, I hit
right.
mute.
I let us
I hit mute. There it is.
cut out.
Yeah,
just
you
cut
muted
them
your
out.
Zoom call for a second.
Yeah, sorry. I
that's
wasn't paying
Tony's fault.
attention. Yeah, sorry. This is. I don't know why Zoom does this. I like Zoom, but this is the only problem with it. Is that audio
Is there
thing.
equal to Zoom, like a video, like Skype or something?
Microsoft Teams.
Yeah, we could try that.
Discord.
Okay, Discord. Yeah, Discord.
Discord
Discord.
works
Zencaster.
really well.
Does
there's a
it?
few.
Yeah.
I never used that. I use Zoom
Yeah,
at work, but I
Discord's
just
nice.
turn the
We could
camera
probably
off.
try Discord. Does Discord have video though?
Yeah.
Yeah, or you could use Zoom for the video and something else for the audio too.
Oh, all right. We'll try that.
A Ventrilo.
We'll play around with it.
Actually,
you speak.
Tony, I'm going to send you a link in some kind of chat thing, and I want you to see if that works any better.
All right. One of our 14 chats we got going on.
I'll put it in the. Actually, I'm going to put it in one that I don't know if I should blast this out on air.
the members chat.
PWO chat, since Curtis is on that too.
Oh yeah, yeah. The PWO.
The BWO.
The PWO, the Podcast World Order.
Ooh.
That's
The Purple World.
we have a little team chat with all the podcasts.
Oh, there you
go. Yeah, so definitely go check out Curtis's podcast. We'll plug it again at the end here, the PA Pile Driver podcast. We're gonna do some this week in wrestling history. We have a little video, a little trip, not video. I wish we had a video. That'd be cool. We had a tribute that we have Brian's gonna do, and then we'll get into what's going on this week in wrestling.
I looked for local people at birthdays and like hardly anybody.
Hardly
There
nobody.
was like one guy that used to wrestle, and then one guy that you guys don't even know. So I was like,
Wow. All right.
I'm working on this. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I
I'm
was
trying
like,
to pull
ugh.
this up for you here.
You're working on what, birthdays?
No. The other thing for audio.
Oh, all right. We'll get that after the show here. I'll keep an eye on it.
All right.
We'll put the ball in your court here, Brian. What do we got going on this week in wrestling?
This week in wrestling. All right. I almost said This Week in Murder. That's my other show.
Yeah,
oh,
I
well,
almost said it too because I've listened to 4 episodes.
some
in the
people
last
feel
3
like
days.
watching Raw is a murder.
Well, somebody did try to murder somebody with a magic contract this week, but we'll get into that later. So this week, this is almost a 2-for-1, and this goes back to August 11th. August 11th, 1990. This is a beginning and an end of an era here. August 11th, 1990 was the final TV tapings for the AWA on ESPN.
Wow.
Which was a long-running thing in the 80s. ESPN used to show wrestling, believe it or not, and it wasn't WWE. I think they showed a little World Class, but they mainly showed the AWA, which was Minnesota-based, Vern Gagne, very technical wrestling-based. Hulk Hogan really made his name there. Bobby Heenan. A lot of the guys who really started that first groundswell of WWF, they were AWA guys. Gene Okerlund, Jesse Ventura,
Mr.
all
Perfect.
AWA.
Yeah.
And things went bad because so many people got poached. Everybody I just mentioned got poached. Rick Martel was their world champion for almost 2 years. He got poached. And so it was bad by the end. And it became less and less important. They were bleeding money for most of the mid to late 80s. So by 1990, they stopped taping in Las Vegas and they moved to their hometown, Minneapolis. They mainly did shows without a crowd and not because of a pandemic. And it was just bad. And they were doing this thing called the Team Challenge Series where they'd have these weird matches and all the roster was divided up into 3 teams. And this final taping was how that was finished. It was resolved. So on the show, Larry Zbyszko, who was the
Ooh.
AWA World Champion, the final AWA World Champion,
Because he was married to the, what's his name's daughter.
the Vern Gagne's
Yeah.
daughter, yeah. You think
helps.
Triple H was the first, he was not. And it was him beating Harley Race, who had
Wow.
just finished his run as King Harley Race. He beat him by DQ to retain the AWA title. And then you had DJ Peterson and the Trooper defeating the Destruction Crew to win the AWA tag titles. The Destruction Crew, not long after this, would become the Beverly Brothers
Oh. there we
in
go.
in WWE, and the Trooper wound up becoming the Patriot. He threw a mask on and became the Patriot.
We've seen the Patriot at Outbreak.
Yeah.
You didn't see that
You
Patriot.
didn't see this picture. didn't see Del
You saw
Wilkes.
the. I sincerely mean you did not see that Patriot.
Yeah.
We've
And
seen
then
a character
speaking
the
of
Patriot.
horrible people in wrestling, Buck Rock and Roll Zoomoff
Buck
beat
Zumhoff.
Johnny Stewart to win the AWA Light Heavyweight title. And to crown the winner of the AWA Teen Challenge Series, they had a battle royal, which was won by the, I guess we call him the Barry Horowitz or the Brooklyn Brawler of the AWA, Jake the Milkman Milliman, who was the biggest jobber in AWA, and he wins the battle royal.
The Milkman, he was called.
Yeah, because his last name was
Yeah.
Milliman and sound like Milkman. That's the whole
And then
gimmick.
Pro wrestling.
one of the other big AWA
It's
jobbers
terrible.
was Kenny Sodbuster J. He was the Sodbuster.
Come and bust your grass up. Your soon to be
And then,
playing grass.
His
King
son
come
wound
do
up
mine.
being a referee in WCW and WWE. It was Mickey J, and he was Mickey Henson. When
Okay.
Mickey James came to WWE, they didn't want to have Mickey J, the referee, and Mickey James. That was back when you knew the referees' names. You don't do that anymore.
Yeah, they're just nameless, faceless people.
So,
No,
so
it's
after
getting
this,
back to
and
that now,
John
though.
Cone.
Not in WWE.
Oh yeah, not WWE. No.
Yeah, not WWE. And then after that, AWA pretty much went dormant. They did try to promote some shows in 1991, but that was basically the end of the company. They were kind of beaten down by the wrestling war. But 1 year later, on August 11th, 1991, we had the finals of the very first G1 Climax tournament.
Ooh.
And they had been doing tournaments like this in New Japan since New Japan began. Like literally, New Japan began in 1974, or was it 72?
1974, because the website is
Yeah.
njpw1974.com.
Right. So that year they did something called the World League. It became the MSG League, the IWGP League. Then it became the World League again. And the only time they didn't have a tournament from 1974 on was 1990. So in 91, they came back with the G1 Climax. G1 was the name of a very famous horse race in Europe, and that's how they got it. Seiji Sakaguchi was the president of New Japan at the time, and he came up with the name. So this was an 8-man tournament. Now I think it's
Wow.
what? It's
16
now?
Yeah, is it 20? I remember last year they upped it.
Yeah.
But then this year they might down it because they're
yeah.
short on
pandemic.
people. But
Split
I
up.
think unless they put juniors and guys from other companies in, it might
Yeah.
still be 20.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was 8. Block A, Keiji
Hashimoto?
Muto, better
Okay.
known to Americans as the Great Muta. He won it. He beat Tatsumi Fujinami, Scott Norton, and Big Van Vader in that block. Block B ended in a tie between Masahiro Chono and Shinya Hashimoto.
Okay.
And the other people in there were Crusher Bam Bam Bigelow. He was called Crusher Bam Bam Bigelow over there. And Ricky Choshu.
Ooh.
And in the finals, Chono won the tournament over Muto. The next year, on August 12th, Chono won his second G1. And this was just a regular 16-man single elimination tournament. He beat Rick Rude in the finals. And that was also for the NWA World title.
Yeah, how about that? And that's also
And
on
then-
the New Japan World.
Yeah.
Some of the old stuff isn't. Like, I don't know if the first show's on. Some of the older stuff, like, they're real spotty with.
Yeah.
And then Rude would be in 92, that would be the last time a Gaijin, a non-Japanese wrestler, would make the finals until 20 years later when Okada beat Carl Anderson to win the G1 in 2012.
Wow.
And now the G1's
And
going to be in
then-
October this year.
Yeah. Well, that was even before the pandemic.
Yeah,
because
because
of the
they
Olympics.
moved it because, Olympics, and now it's like, oh, well, it's a pandemic, so I guess it worked out.
And now next year it's probably going to be October again because of the Olympics.
Yeah.
How
G1
funny
moved to
Olympics.
October.
So August 13th, 2001, 19 years ago today, was the birth of a very, very, very famous chant.
2001.
Can anyone guess the chant?
19 years ago today.
Chant.
Mhm.
Man, must like.
What?
Oh, chant?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, God.
oh,
Ugh.
What?
Ugh.
What?
Ugh. I wish it died 19 years ago today.
And it was a Raw episode in Chicago, which began with Steve Austin addressing the Alliance. This is during the invasion. Speaking
What?
of bad things in wrestling,
Yeah.
at the beginning of the show.
It could have been good.
It could have
Yeah.
been, but
Could have
they
been.
couldn't get the right people, and the booking was
The
bad.
first person to get hit with the chant was Hugh Morris.
And to
He
this
had just
day,
lost
Heidi still gets hit with it all the time.
Really? Oh, God.
Yeah, she's like, you never listen. I go, what?
she,
doesn't-
just like,
She doesn't get it at all.
well, she don't watch wrestling.
I just
You
drank
can
my
kind of
last
see
Stone
it
Cold beer.
behind my mic arm, but there's a giant Pulp Fiction poster just to my left. And I always wanted somebody to be like that. Say what again? I dare you.
I double dare you. Great movie.
And so the inspiration for this came when Austin was driving on the road alone. He was married to Deborah at the time, but for some reason she wasn't on the road with him. And he got bored, and he called Christian. And he just left this 15-minute long voicemail. And eventually he just goes, what? After everything he says, like, I just passed a Waffle House. What? And he was just thinking over his head. He's like, "This is good. I'm going to use this." And the rest is history.
This is going to destroy wrestling
Yeah,
for the
like
next
it
30 years. Every time they're going to try to do a serious angle.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was so bad.
Didn't when somebody was like actually like Edge was retiring and they were doing
They
it.
might have done it. Yeah,
He's
they
like, I
still
broke
did
my
it.
neck. What? And he's
still
like, no, I'm
did it for, like-
serious. Like I'm seriously. And they're like, what?
I think like 2014, then finally died out.
Yeah, it actually got to the point where it taught people to be better on the mic.
Yeah.
And like you could tell if somebody was really talented and they had to go up against the crowd and they were hitting them with the what, and they would be like, certain people couldn't handle it. You could see they would lose
yeah.
their spot, and some people just handle it like with grace.
Yeah, well, I'm
Yeah.
so glad it's gone. I hated it.
When the Eagles had their Super Bowl parade in 2018, they Jason Kelsey gave this famous speech. You can find it on YouTube, and he's basically a pro wrestling promo. He's dressed in this really colorful suit, and
He's dressed
it's
as a mummer.
pro wrestling promo. Yeah, a mummer. No, I don't know if everybody knows what that is, but eventually the crowd for the Super Bowl parade, it's like 1 million people deep, and they start yelling "what" at him,
Listen,
like they were doing what chants at the parade.
no matter what you can say about anything, whether it comes to basketball, football, music, anything pop culture, even if you're not a wrestling fan, you probably know at least 13 wrestling catchphrases and don't even realize they came from pro wrestling.
I think it's maybe a little less.
Yeah,
at
maybe
least
less.
5, I'd say.
I could at least go probably maybe at least 10. That could be in a future episode.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends. We'd have to get someone that's non-wrestler fan.
Just top of my head.
like if
yeah.
Heidi was here.
Flair Woo.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
woo,
The
but
Stone Cold what? The Daniel Bryant yes.
I don't know about that one.
You can't see me John Cena.
That one I don't know about either.
That's a huge meme. Like
It's a big meme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, and his name is John Cena is a big meme too.
Yeah, yeah. John Cena has 2 memes. Hulk Hogan, just anything like poses
or brother. I
or
guess
the
you could say,
brother.
yeah.
Brother,
Well, poses
yeah.
don't count because that's not. You're just saying.
But if you walk into a room and just do that,
yeah,
people are like Hulk Hogan.
yeah, well, yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
but
I'm
you were
saying
just
like
saying
references or chants or
Yeah.
anything like that. I'm trying to think of
maybe smell like the Rock's cooking.
the Rock, Stone Cold probably has
Yeah,
there's a
them.
few of them that have interwoven themselves and like they're used in like songs or other references. Like
Yeah,
I think wrestling's one of the only things that really have that big crossover. Even if you're not a wrestling fan, you're like if you walk in anywhere and said Ric Flair,
yeah,
the whole
because
place
if
would
a
say,
if a
"Whoa."
football player has a shirt, a saying, usually doesn't like go on shirts and stuff.
Yeah,
then
and if a
it's-
football player did get famous off something,
Yeah, then
he
people hate
probably
him.
got it
Yeah.
from a wrestler.
Yeah.
Like Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor's walk then
the
became
Vince walk,
the
yeah.
Conor walk. He's like, no, that's Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Like he's like,
Well,
that's the
to be
billionaire.
fair, Daniel Bryan stole yes from Diego Sanchez.
Did he?
I don't know
Yeah.
what that is.
I see. I wasn't a wrestling fan at the time, so I didn't know who got it from who.
There was the thing where Diego Sanchez was walking in the back and just pointing his fingers in the air and going yes, and Daniel Bryan's like, I
well,
like that. I'm going to start. That
I
again."
actually think that they got that from an inspirational like guy who did books and videos who would like self-positivity mind states and stuff. So I think they both because they're both like
Oh,
kind of
okay.
hippies. So I think they both got it.
Yeah,
From
I mean everything
Who
is taken
is
from
this
everything.
Diego
like,
Sanchez
Wu-
guy?
Diego
Ric Flair
Sanchez,
took
a
the
UFC
Wu from
fighter.
Oh, okay.
Great Balls of Fire.
yeah. So
I didn't know if he was a football player or something.
do you have any other new? I have a few news topics and current stuff. If you have any still history ones.
Oh, I have a few things. Just to kind of run through what happened on that episode. Tajiri beat Albert. Edge and Christian beat Just Incredible and Lance Storm.
Albert.
The Impact players, which didn't work out in WWE at all.
Yeah, it didn't work out.
Let's just
so
talk
well.
about in the Attitude Era. We had a guy named Prince Albert.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
but
awesome.
a lot of people didn't get that. That's
Yeah.
it's a stupid name.
Silly.
And
At
he
this point, I
wasn't
think it was
very
just Albert because they were doing like Test and Albert. It was just TNA.
Wait,
Yeah,
what was
get
his,
it?
What was,
TNA?
what was his name when he came back and he
Lord
had all
Tensai.
the Tensai when he had the Japanese scripts all down his face.
And then he was Sweet Tea, the hip hop hippo.
Oh God, yeah. When he's with what's his name, Brodus Clay.
Brodus Clay. And then very briefly, very briefly, he was Jason Albert, the announcer on NXT.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And then they got rid of him because he had a huge head.
and he
No,
became the head trainer.
Yeah, that's what they got rid of. He did have a huge head. He still does.
The WCW tag champions on this show, Kane and The Undertaker, with their manager, Sarah Undertaker. Nobody remembers that.
Yeah, I don't remember her. I
Didn't-
remember her a
Didn't
little
see
bit.
her in the last ride.
The
Defeated
Sarah
Chuck
that he had
Palumbo
tattooed
and
on his
Sean
neck?
O'Haire.
Yeah, they got rid
Yeah.
of.
She beat DDP clean once on Raw.
Oh my God. That's a power being Undertaker's wife
Yep.
or
Yeah,
girlfriend.
ask,
whatever.
ask Michelle McCool.
Booker T and Rhino beat Chris Jericho and The Rock.
Oh.
Test beat Spike Dudley. There was a three-way for Rob Van Dam's hardcore title where he and Kurt Angle lost to Jeff Hardy as well.
Wow, that's not actually.
I do
That's not a terrible
The
episode.
star power there is insane.
Yeah. I do have a few, I do have one or two more here and then some birthdays too. One more and then some birthdays. This is one Andy's gonna like here. And it was 26 years ago today, August 13th, 1994.
Was
Alexa, you
Bliss
remember that
born?
day? Alexa, you tell us what happened. 26 years ago today.
I have no clue.
Go ahead, go Ryan.
She was doing something else. This was ECW Hardcore Heaven 1994.
Ooh.
And it was the chair incident.
Yes.
Cactus Jack and Terry Funk was
You
the
can
main
find us on
event of the
YouTube.
show, even though both were working for WCW at the time. And it was a no contest because the Public Enemy interfered. It was designed to set up Public Enemy against Cactus and Terry Funk at a future
It's
show.
playing in my head and I'm laughing.
And
It used to be in the intro to the show.
Yeah.
yeah, this is in the intro. Funk and Cactus join up forces to take out Public Enemy. And one of them calls for a fan in the crowd to throw the chair in to help them. Like, they're going to hit the Public Enemy with a chair. A couple dozen people start throwing their chairs at the ring. Funk gets beamed in the head with one of them.
Hundreds of
And he
chairs.
sells it great. He's like, does the dead fall?
Yeah,
So Mick Foley's
Public Enemy just buried in chairs.
Yeah, Public Enemy. They're laying on the floor, like, on the mat. Isn't Mick under the pile too?
No, he's
No,
standing.
Mick got out of there.
Yeah, then he gets out of the ring.
Public Enemy's laying in the ring, and someone just goes,
Yeah.
like, throw a chair, and then the entire, all four sides.
It looks like it's
fa-
raining chairs.
It just, literally, it was up to the second rope. It was buried.
I
in
seen that once at ROH when it
Saturday.
was Homicide versus Necro Butcher.
Jeez.
And they said, everyone throw your chairs. Like, this is insane.
Could you
But
imagine
this
an
time
outbreak
it
with
wasn't
those
even
wooden
supposed to
ones?
happen. Like, it just happened organically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like I did for that one Raw, I also have the rest of the card for this show. It's interesting to see who's in ECW at this time.
Absolutely.
In 94. Snooka.
Yes. Yes. The Shaw, Hack Myers, beat Rock and Rebel in the
I was
opener.
just going to say it was Rebel on
Rock
it.
and Rebel.
Yes, he was.
They used his license that night.
They might
No.
have, actually.
I don't think he had a license back then. Rock and Rebel, one of the few people we featured on this show, and Murder Mike.
Yeah, how about
yeah.
that?
He crossed both planes.
Not a good man.
No.
Chad Austin. At this point, I don't think he's Stone Cold Chad Austin. He's just Chad Austin. He beat Iron Man Tommy Cairo.
He's like
You
a
had,
New Jersey indie guy for years and years.
You had Jason Knight defeating Mikey Whipwreck to win the ECW TV title.
Wow. Jason,
You
better
had,
known as the lackey of Just Incredible.
Well, back then he was the sexiest man alive.
Yeah, the sexiest man, yeah.
And you also had Jimmy Snuka, there you go, and the Tasmaniac defeating the Pitbulls.
Oh, wow. That might have been a pretty
Still
good
a-
match.
I think it was like a squash, too. I think they could beat him quick. But
Oh,
still
geez.
a Tasmaniac here, not quite Taz yet. 911 beat Mr. Hughes. Probably not a great match.
I was going to say that was probably short and sweet.
The Sandman beat Tommy Dreamer by DQ somehow in a Singapore cane match. A DQ in ECW, all right.
Wow, yeah.
Public Enemy beat Bad Breed in a baseball bet match to keep the tag titles. Bad Breed were Axel and
yeah.
Ian Rotten. Not really brothers. One was English, one wasn't.
Yeah.
And Sabu beat Too Cold Scorpio,
Oh.
which was probably a good match.
That was, yeah, probably was pretty good.
And then for birthdays, Friday, this past Friday, the 7th of August, was Marty Bell from NWA. She
Oh,
was
yeah.
32. Saturday, August 8th, Sable, 53
Whoa.
years old.
53 Sable, wow.
And Shayna Baszler, 40 years old.
Wow, I didn't know Shane was that old either.
Cool.
And,
Shayna.
Yeah.
Is how old?
40.
Shayna Baszler
Yeah,
is
wow.
40 years old. Wow.
She was in MMA for a long time.
Yeah.
She was by the time UFC started having women fight, she was already like toward the end of her career.
How about that?
Wasn't
Stop.
her, one of her last fights, wasn't that Betch Correia?
I think so, because didn't she go through all the horsewomen to get to Ronda?
Yeah. And then Ronda dusted her.
Yeah. It's like the last fight she won, right?
And that's when they photoshopped Betch. Like, so Ronda knocked her out. She actually used
Two
Ronda's,
flies in
like,
there.
suicide, like her dad's suicide in her promo.
Ooh,
Just
Shayna?
Betch Correia.
Oh, really? Oh, I never heard
yeah,
her.
and then said, like, I beat up all your friends.
Mhm.
And then when Ronda knocked her out, it was, like, Ronda's first, like, knockout with her fist,
Yeah.
which was great for Ronda, but was also her downfall because then she thought she can box everybody.
Oh, okay.
And that
Yeah,
was,
she
like,
couldn't- yeah, she
yeah,
couldn't.
and it was bad news bears for her. But when she knocked her out, people photoshopped poop on Betch Correia's butt, and it went all over the internet. So people like went and rewatched the fight because they
See
said
the-
that she shit herself when she got knocked out.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I seen that Paige Van Zandt signed with Bare Knuckle fighting.
yeah. Paige Van Zandt,
Yeah.
bare knuckle fighting.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know.
Whew,
Why would you
Paige
wanna do
Van
that?
Zandt. I don't know. Are you aware who Paige Van Zandt is? She is a supermodel that fights.
I wouldn't say supermodel.
She's a supermodel.
She's good looking, but she's not a supermodel.
insanely attractive. And she goes out and fights, and she's bleeding like a psychopath. Like she snapped her arm one fight and tried to keep fighting. They're like so for how pretty she is, she's still a psychopath.
Yeah,
Like,
that's insane.
yeah, she's unbelievable.
They said WWE tried to get her before.
Yeah.
Yep. You have more birthdays?
Yeah. Saturday, the 9th, we had Silas Young from ROH, former TV champion. He's 40 as well.
He
Alexa
looked like
Bliss.
he's 40. Alexa, there we go. Not to interrupt you. I was like, Silas looked 40 for the past 10 years.
Yeah. And she is not 40. She is
No.
29. Monday, the 10th, a lot of them here. Tugboat. Fred Ottman, the
Uncle
Shockmaster.
Fred.
U.S. Steel. Uncle Fred. Big Steel Man. He is 64
Typhoon.
years old.
Wow.
Savio Vega, former Puerto Rican star. I had to watch him wrestle 4 times in one night at an awful pay-per-view once.
Yeah. Quang.
I was there. That was bad.
Oh,
That was
can
bad.
imagine.
King of the Ring.
Yep, King of the Ring 95. 56 years old. Wade Barrett, Stu Bennett, whatever you want to call him. NWA commentator. He's on that Ultimate Beastmaster show on Netflix now with CM Punk. 40 years old. And here's an age that surprised me. 41 years old. Congo Kong.
Was that the TNA guy?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And then that's when they tried to do that ring king thing? Or I think
Yeah,
I
I
never
think so,
watched.
yeah.
I never watched it.
Tuesday, August 11th. I don't know. Anybody here?
No,
No? Okay.
No, what? No, I didn't.
nothing for Tuesday.
Oh, no. Hulk Hogan.
Oh, wow.
Hulk
Oh.
Hogan,
Oh.
67
I
years
didn't even hear that. Wow.
Somebody, I don't want to put him out there just in case. I don't know if they're going to use it. But a friend of mine sent me, I guess they're trying to make like logo parodies for their logos.
Mhm.
And they sent me one that looks like the Hulkamaniac logo. And I said, looks awesome, but you might get some feedback for that one. He's like, why?
Yeah.
I was like, Hogan likes to use the N word.
Yeah, it was only that once. Come on now.
2 or 3 times. And he's like, oh,
There's
I
only
forgot
one
about
video.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's a home movie star. What else we got birthday wise? We'll just skip right past.
Also that day on the 11th, Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission troubleshooting referee Bill Alfonso.
Oh, there we go. Fozzie.
63 years old.
Right down the middle, daddy. So blow a whistle. Where's the whistle sound on the board?
There you go. Wednesday, August 12th, we had the Cock-a-Doodle-Doo man, Terry Taylor,
Taylor, the stooge.
65 years old.
Wow.
And a guy I know Tony and I saw at the Impact show last fall at PPW. The crowd loved him. Especially with like meeting and greeting. Falaba,
Yes.
35 years old.
He's a superstar. They don't use him enough there.
I've never even seen a guy wrestle.
For how big
He's,
he is, he's super athletic.
Yeah.
Very talented, yeah.
He's also like he used to be even bigger. So like when you lose some weight, even if you're still big, you move around a little better.
Yeah, Curtis has a photo with him. I believe Curtis got the meet and greet with him.
Yeah, I've met him 3 times actually. He's a super nice guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he eats it up, man. He really knows how to work a crowd. I think maybe the reason they're not using him as much is maybe he's hard to work a story on, and I think the crowd participation really helps him.
Oh, okay.
Because he does he hits his head and he goes the bah.
Is that like an islander or
Yeah,
something?
and then the whole crowd starts doing it, and then like they're doing it throughout the match.
He has
There's a fly in here, so
Yeah, I
all of
think
us are like tracking
There's
our
2
head.
flies.
Yeah, They're
He
gonna
might
make-
not like live long. He hasn't been used at all recently.
I think he was
right?
just put in a match against Moose and lost.
Oh, okay.
Like 2 weeks ago or
He
something.
he was he wrestled Moose at the last Impact show in Hazleton,
Yes,
I believe.
it was actually
And,
that was a good match.
He was just he had a fairly cool match just a little while ago where it was him and TJP because I think Falaba is Filipino. So like the 2 Filipino guys teaming and they beat it was the new X Division champion Chris Bay and I forget who the other person was. But it was kind of thank you Curtis. Rohit Raju and yeah they had TJP beat Chris Bay to kind of set up maybe they're gonna have an X Division title match.
Cool.
And then today's birthday, there's only one for today, the 13th. It's happy 50th birthday to the littlest of the Dudley boys, Spike Dudley.
No spike.
And yours was what day?
The 11th.
The 11th, which was
That's what I was trying to set up before I said Hogan.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, she wasn't paying attention.
She wasn't paying attention. Yeah, so the 11th was her birthday, was Alexa's birthday, and this is why she's on the show tonight. As a gift from the podcast, I got her 3 T-shirts for the podcast.
Oh, that's nice.
What 3 shirts do you think she picked?
I don't know mine.
Yes,
What,
which
tornado
one?
tag?
And did you
Cthulhu?
have 3
I only
shirts?
have one.
The Cthulhu shirt.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't have it.
Tornado tag. You think?
I guess so. Yeah.
No.
Oh, I don't know.
What else do you think? Anyone have any guesses? What shirts did she pick? The one I even like, I'm like, are you sure?
Did you pick Tori as the alien?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking maybe a girl. I don't know. Beer for the banging beer.
Bangin' Beers. Bangin' Beers. She picked the Bangin' Beers because she likes the logo.
Oh, it is cool.
And she got the original, not the original, but the original Not Cool in High School logo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was
Cool.
like, Bangin' Beers. I probably should have messaged you. Like, is it cool if your daughter promotes us drinking?
That's something.
It is an awesome logo, though. So, anything else, Brian?
No, that's it for like birthdays and stuff. There's the other thing we're gonna probably do a little bit later. I don't know when you want to throw it in.
Yeah, I got a little bit of news here. So I guess during a NXT taping, Shotzi Blackheart had to leave because someone stole her car in the parking lot.
Really?
Yeah.
It was that damn group with the mask.
But yeah, it was
had to be
retribution or
them.
whatever.
It was
Retribution,
Those
yeah.
guys are out of
You should
control.
just call the cops already on him.
I know.
Someone
Like,
stole her car? Like,
yeah, someone stole her car. I don't know if they
how,
stole.
I want to know the story behind. How did they find out it was her car and they come in and tell her and they didn't do anything? Hey, someone stole your car.
I don't know if she was
But no one
stolen
else
while
is.
she was in the studio, or if it was stolen, then she got a ride to the studio, and
Oh,
the cops
yeah,
called her and said,
maybe,
"Hey,
yeah,
we have
maybe,
your
yeah,
car."
okay.
But she had to leave
Oh,
a
wow.
taping to.
So someone
to
stole
do
her
it.
tank.
Yeah, they told that. They
Yeah.
took that
They
little-
drove off at 5 miles an hour.
See
Maybe
that
they
driving
were-
down 995, it's gonna be an easy fix for these cops.
What else we got here?
While you're queuing up the next thing, Tony,
Yep.
funny you bring that up because we talked about Jason Knight during the thing about ECW. My buddy Jack that I do Murder My Dude with, he's been on the show a bunch here too. He used to go to ECW a lot all the time because when he was younger, he literally lived like 3 blocks from the arena. And one time when Jason Knight was there, somebody slashed his tire, so him and a bunch of other people had to help Jason Knight change his tire.
What
Wow.
sexiest man? My ass.
So this is a news story, but I'm going to try to tiptoe around this one. Lana confirmed at WrestleMania 31
Okay.
that her and Rusev hung out on the tank.
In it.
In the tank.
Yes.
Yes.
And
they-
somewhere else she said too.
Yeah, I
the
guess
Black Sea.
backstage at WrestleMania 31, Lana and Rusev did they did a dance, we'll say, in the tank that he came out to. Listen, if you're working with your wife and they're like, "This tank is yours," I'm gonna be like, "I'll see you in 15 minutes." Like that opportunity's never gonna be there
I can
to
imagine it was
dance with your wife in a
not
tank.
fun in the tank where it's hot and probably humid and
Yeah,
might smell.
who knows?
I
But
don't know.
and I guess she made a post about it, and Instagram blocked her for it.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Out of all the things Lana does on the internet, that's
Yeah.
the one that got her in trouble. I think, we're not even getting into it. New documentary is coming out. This was posted by Millie from the left side on our Facebook group. Which, if you are listening, head over to our links below in the link tee and check out our Facebook group. It's on there. A new documentary on Vampiro is going to be released.
Oh.
Has anyone heard an update on him on what's going on? Like he has some issues going on, right?
I have no idea.
I didn't know about
Like
that.
Alzheimer's or something. Like he has like early onset
Vampiro?
Alzheimer's or something. No,
Wow.
Vampiro.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's not that old. He's only like 45.
Like he's having issues like remembering stuff and everything.
Wow.
I don't know. That's what I was reading. That was a while ago. Trying to think what else I got here.
Yeah. Apparently, he said on Facebook he's suffering from early onset Alzheimer's disease.
Oh.
I'm not laughing about it.
Yeah,
but
that's
Yeah.
a shame. Wow.
I'm surprised I
He's-
heard that.
He's
And-
not that old.
This was a question I was going to post to you guys soon about AEW, but I guess it kind of already happened. AEW wrestler confirms her departure after she was removed from the roster. Now, this is something that I wanted to kind of ask about because every time when WWE removes somebody from the roster, whether it be for any reason, like we just don't need you, or your contract's up, or maybe we're financially we just can't find you as valuable, the company kinds of get crapped on for it. Now, if AEW starts bringing in more of these bigger names, and some of these low guys get cut out that were kind of brought in to be like we're supporting the independent scene, how do you think that will be perceived by the wrestling culture, like the wrestling fandom?
It depends if they're using them. Because if they're not really using them, people are like, well, they weren't using them anyway.
Well, here's the thing too. You have these. I don't know what a contract is for somebody
No.
of AEW, but half of them are being used right now just to be crowd.
Yeah, and some are
Yeah.
being paid because they can't travel. So like, and then Tony Khan did say, like, eventually we have to kind of do something.
Yeah.
We can't pay Pac to sit in Europe for 2 years.
Yeah,
You know, like, you understand. So I mean,
I don't know.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, the person that was removed from that was B. Priestley, right?
Oh, really?
No, it was.
I have
sorry,
no
I
idea.
probably should have said that. That would have been smart of me as someone who was reading it. Sadie Gibbs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she was the blonde. She was like kind of built, like not like muscle wise.
Yeah, she says she's no longer part of the roster as of August 13th.
Oh, I wonder why. Did they just let her go, or they didn't say?
They didn't really say.
Oh, she might ask for a release then.
Yeah.
They could get rid of a few people for free up some money though.
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
a lot of people they're not using them. Then why keep them?
Listen, there's something like
You either
Sonny.
use them or don't.
I'm glad Sonny.
I immediately you have to say his last name because I was thinking she's in jail.
Oh, Sonny Kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah, not that Sonny. Sonny Kiss. I'm glad that they're starting to use him. With the Janela thing.
Yeah,
Because
tag team. Yeah.
I was getting to the point where I was getting nervous. I was like, man, if they don't find something soon.
Yeah, probably get rid of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, anytime you say Sonny, I immediately think Sonny.
We think Sonny the
Yeah.
old 90s.
She's
Sonny.
doing a lot of cage matches right now.
Yeah.
She's killing it in the cage matches. Yeah. Yeah. So do you want to do the tribute now, or do you want to wait for the end for that?
We can do it now, and then we'll run through the shows. Well, I think it's always fun to finish with the PWI stuff that Andy has.
Cool. Yeah, let's do that.
One thing real quick with the news, the network, this Saturday, they're going to put some
Oh,
indie
yeah.
stuff up from
Yeah.
Evolve, Progress, which is a big English company that a lot of the NXT UK guys came from, ICW, which is more of a wild comedy, brawling Scottish company, and WXW. So you're going to get some great, really well-received Evolve matches. Drew Galloway back then, Drew McIntyre against Ricochet, Gargano, Roderick Strong, Matt Riddle, Tommy End, who is Aleister Black. You're going to get Keith Lee against Walter, Thatcher, Matt Riddle, Donovan Dijak, who was Dominic Dijakovic. That's all being released. A
Did they
women's
say-
tournament from WXW.
Did they say what's going? Like, is it the whole entire library going up, or just like spot shows or whatever?
No, they might put other stuff up earlier.
Like
It's those two
highlights.
best of,
Oh,
yeah, it's
best of.
those
So,
two-
okay.
Yeah, it's those two best ofs from Evolve. WXW, it's a one-night tournament called Ambition 11. Walter and Thatcher were in it. And they're doing the 2019 Femmes Fatale tournament. I'm going to guess like Tony Storm's probably in that, Killer Kelly.
Yeah.
Uh,
Viper.
Progress, it's going to be Progress 92. And the main event of that is Walter and Ilya Dragunov.
Man, Seth Rollins beat the garbage out of Walter.
Yeah.
on Raw.
No,
Yeah.
not that Walter. This is the European Walter.
Fake Walter. I was gonna say he did. He did.
We're saying Dominic looks like
Yeah.
Walter.
Eddie Guerrero is Walter's real father.
Yeah, Eddie Guerrero's kid got a beating.
Yeah.
Oh my! And then the ICW one is going to have something with Jeff Jarrett taking over as commissioner for the night. Piper Niven as Viper is going to be in that, and Grado's going to be on the WWE
Wow, how
network.
about that?
Wow.
Eventually, a lot of names on WWE Network when they upload the whole. Why wouldn't you? They own Evolve now.
Yeah.
So.
Well, while we're here, let's sneak this in real quick. So, I'll do mine first, and you can do yours next. They're
What we're
on
talking about.
Friday. Is it Friday nights? Curtis, help me out here. Friday. I don't have WYLN. So, the best of
Sunday nights at
PPWs.
8.
Sunday nights 8. You're right. I read that. I should know that. Sunday nights at 8 o'clock on WYLN. The best of PPW is going out. They are doing a voting right now to pick your favorite matches. So you go over and check that out. But it's on YouTube as well as PPW, and we will share it here on our group page as well. So
Where
you
can
can
you
check
vote
out
on Facebook or?
Facebook and ppwwrestling.com.
Okay,
There's
okay.
5 matches to pick from, and I think they're
Yeah, I
all
think they're doing
bangers.
the thing where like your reaction is like if you like thumbs up is
Yeah.
one of the matches.
Yeah, and if
then
you
the
are
hardest-
listening,
Oh, okay.
if you are listening, please represent our show correctly. And when you go and vote, don't type in the emoji in the comment section, or don't
like thumbs
don't-
up. Who does that?
don't write the name of the match you're voting for. It says vote by clicking the emoji. So all they have to do is look at the emoji.
That's too hard for people.
all right. Please,
Yeah.
people.
You can vote on Instagram too if you go to the comment section and then heart the comment.
Oh, there
what
you go.
match you want? You can vote there too.
What match are you looking forward to? Which one did you vote for? Are you let?
I said there's only one correct answer, and that was well, I honestly forget who else was in it, but whatever match Sean Carr was in.
Yeah. Actually,
I haven't seen what matches were up. So.
Sean Carr.
I have the matches here when you're ready.
Sean
Okay.
Carr, Evander. I'm going to test my memory here because I think I read it off. Sean Carr, Evander James, and James Storm, triple threat
Correct.
match. Tessa Blanchard versus Christina Marie.
Yes.
Team Havoc versus Team the Samoan Dynasty.
Yes.
I think Havoc's in
Two
there.
left.
Havoc's in there twice. I think
He is.
Havoc versus
Which is weird because he hasn't been PPW
Rhino.
in at least a year.
Yes. Yeah,
Awesome.
Havoc and Rhino is from, and his 2 matches are from 2014.
I was gonna say
Oh.
possibly 2 years.
and Evander James versus Casey Navarro.
Yes, you got them all. Very good.
Yeah,
Wow, how about that?
nailed
Very
it.
good, Tony.
Yeah. That's
Now,
some
guess what
study.
match was my pick?
I don't
I'm
know.
gonna
Tessa
That
versus
three-
Christina.
No,
that
it was
three-way with
not.
Shankar?
Nope.
I don't know.
I picked the stables. I went Team Havoc versus
Oh,
Samoan
okay.
Dynasty. I like the way the arena looked back then for PPW, where they came right up out of the locker room stairs. I thought it looked cool.
Was it the same place?
So you know how the entrance, you know how you the bleachers are kind of there, and that's
Yeah.
where the guys hang out. So back in the day, the rampway was kind of skewed. So right when you came up out of the locker room steps,
So you'd walk right out?
the entryway was right
Oh, okay.
there, and it kind of came in at an angle. And I thought it looked really cool in the old video. I thought it was a cool look for PPW.
And we all know Tony loves him some Snitsky.
Yeah, Gene Snitsky, baby. It's not his fault.
Well,
Dude,
was-
he looks amazing now.
Oh, yeah, he's jacked.
Amazing.
Not so much his legs, but that's okay.
He's like, what's it, Matt Cardone? Zach Ryder?
Cardona, yeah.
Oh, does he have
Cardona?
skinny legs? I
Oh,
didn't
my
notice.
God.
That's why you should wear pants.
He's literally, he goes like this.
I like how he.
He's like a
just-
funnel.
He just didn't exist on Dynamite this week. Not even to mention.
Yeah. He's built like a funnel. All right. Yeah. So you can check out the best of PPW, like I said, on Facebook, ppwwrestling.com, YouTube, or WYLN Saturday nights.
Sunday nights.
Sunday nights at 8. Yes. And then
And
Andy,
if
you
you
got
want to
a little,
vote, PPW Entertainment on Facebook. I
Yep.
think, I'm
and
guessing
Instagram.
that's
And Instagram.
Instagram too, yeah.
Instagram, it's
Entertainment.
PPW_online.
There you go.
Thank you, Curtis.
Yeah, Curtis coming in with the.
Curtis,
Somebody's going to be on top of stuff. It's not me.
Well,
It's
Curtis
definitely
is
not me.
Curtis is the PPW guy. He has
What can I say,
he
yeah.
has way more history at PPW than I do. I came to the game late.
Well, hey, better than not
Is
at all.
what it is.
I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, so they do listen, and their podcast, I mean, they cover everything that, what's going on in wrestling, but they also really take deep dives into PPW. We do
Oh.
like after show reviews,
Yeah.
but they know like the histories of PPW, and they're really
That's
dialed
cool.
into that culture, which is awesome.
I guess not so much right now, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
but normally.
No, PPW's doing a great job of showcasing that back catalog, though. 6
Yeah, why-
years of
yeah,
history,
why
put it
not?
to use, definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good on them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they still have that Sunday night show filling out. I think it's an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the commercials or if there is or there isn't because it's cable access. So why not?
Yeah. Maybe if somebody in the remote access wants to see one of their matches, they can slip it to me, and I'll put it as my pick for next
There
week.
you
I'm looking at you, Curtis.
I know. I'm just like, you gotta play a little like you don't know what I'm talking about.
And then Andy, you're part of some matches. Well, you be part of PPW matches as well.
yeah,
But
yeah, as I say,
but
I don't know if we'll be on that.
there's
on
some
the
current
best of.
content coming out that you're a
Yeah,
part of.
Outbreak on YouTube, Outbreak Wrestling, Quarantine.
Yep.
Outbreak Quarantine's called. That comes out every Friday, I think.
Yeah, and that's
I think it's
only on
different.
YouTube.
Yeah, it's only on YouTube.
Yeah.
So
They need. I would put it on both, but that's just me.
what on both what?
Facebook and dude. Facebook.
Yeah, I know that. I put it on Facebook too.
Facebook,
I don't know
listen,
why they don't.
Facebook kills it. Kills it.
Yeah, because people are already right there.
You
Sometimes
got
they don't
plugged.
click.
You got plugged on Outbreak.
Yeah.
They said,
Yeah, one of the episodes.
yeah,
Yeah,
like-
commentary.
Andy's doing awesome.
Yeah, so I don't know the matches because I don't know the order, and the order they record them is not necessarily the order they go.
Oh,
on the
you
show.
can't even say who you wrestled yet.
No, they don't wrestle until it happens. So
Yeah.
So I wrestled people. it was
It's
pretty
gonna be
good
an
though. There's
awesome
some, I've
match.
seen some good matches from other people too.
Yeah.
So
I know you wrestled Trajan because that was on the first episode.
Yeah, there you go. I wrestled Trajan and I wrestled Brad. That got posted.
Yeah, well,
but there's
speak-
still 3 or 4 more.
Speaking of Trajan, man, he looks fantastic.
Not so much the hair. I don't.
You don't
agree
like
with
the- you don't like the
agree
short
with
hair?
haircut. Now he looks like a asshole jock. I told him, and we were all saying he does look like a football guy in high school. Looks like a prick.
But I mean, he's like hitting the weights because he didn't want to be the chubby daddy no more. He
I don't know
still wants
why.
to be the daddy. He just doesn't want to be the chubby
Oh,
daddy.
okay.
But he cut his hair. Which listen, as someone who cut their hair when it was long,
Yeah.
I regretted it. I miss it. I want it
didn't-
back.
yeah, I was like, I don't think it was a wise choice.
Yeah, but he.
I think it takes away from his look. so.
He's getting big, man. He's putting muscle on. He looks really good. I think him hanging out with Brad and stuff. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's really motivating him. I think he's, good on him. He's getting swole. Maybe that's his heel thing he's going for, but he'll always be the daddy in my eyes.
No, don't use the word swole. There's 2 on AEW.
Too many swolls.
Actually, there's
many
3 if you count Brian Cage.
Daddy swole.
No, don't use it at all.
But yeah, so go check out
And,
Outbreak.
Tell you
And
Yeah.
Andy, you're gonna be crossing paths with Brad again soon, aren't you?
Wait, what? Oh yeah. I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
Where
So-
at?
Wind Gap, PA. I think it's at. It's NTW. It's the 29th. and we're supposed to be me and Matt Turner versus
Matt's
Di-
getting huge too.
Diamond City War Machines. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
pretty big last time too.
It is WSW Backdraft. I found
Oh,
it
I
here. It
thought
is
it
the 29th. It is 6480 Sullivan Trail in Wind Gap, PA. It supports the local fire department.
Yeah, so I think it's
All
right,
outdoors.
right. Yeah, I would assume so. It's right near Easton. I think
Okay.
a little bit north of Easton.
What day is that?
Next Saturday or 2 Saturdays from now, the 29th.
Okay, that might be doable. No,
Yeah.
all my days are
Yeah,
jammed
so
together.
I think it was going to be inside, and they moved it outside. I don't know the promoter. Matt Turner set it all up, so that's why I don't know too much about it. So I know we're wrestling Diamond City War Machines. So
Oh wait, what is this?
I don't know. Tony's looking at something on his phone here. He's-
Daniel D3 Nella?
What?
Why
Oh,
is it?
okay. So Daniel Bryan is going to wrestle Nella from some Scottish.
It just says
promotion.
Daniel D3. It debuts in AEW.
What? Can I see that?
Oh, is that
I have no idea who that is.
is that the guy PPW brought in like twice?
Yeah,
Not JXT.
No, D3. He's like
D3.
this Italian guy, right?
yeah. He's gonna wrestle for AEW Dark. Actually, it was just shared in our little group chat we have. So, so another PPW guy is making an AEW Dark appearance.
No, I wouldn't call him PPW.
I mean, if
He's only been there twice.
someone who's
Yeah.
someone who's appeared in AEW.
There you go. There you
And
go.
actually, Big Game Leroy, I guess.
Is that his new name now?
Yeah,
Big Game-
Leroy, or Big Leroy, something like that. Big Game. I think it's
So
Big
it was
Game.
just Leroy. I forget his last. I want to say Jenkins. but
It
I'm
is
not
Leroy
Jenkins.
Jenkins.
Is it
Green, I
Leroy
think.
Jenkins?
Yeah, because he got it from the Leroy
yeah,
Jenkins.
which is, yeah.
But
I
I
thought it
think
was Leroy Green.
It is. It is Leroy Green.
it
I
is
was gonna
Leroy
say,
Green.
It's not
It
Jenkins.
is not Jenkins. But I'm sure he appreciates that reference. But I think he calls himself Big Game Time or something like that. Or,
Yeah, something.
He actually did an article.
By the way, it's weird for me as a wrestling fan. It broke my heart when I found that Leroy Jenkins video was a work.
yeah,
Was it? Wow. I thought it was real
It
too
was.
because it doesn't seem that unbelievable. You
Yeah,
know,
or
hey, I'm
someone
just gonna ruin this game.
yeah. that's
People
something-
do that all the time.
That's something I would do. But he did an article where he said, you know,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
whole
interview.
switch gimmick, like where he comes out with a switch. He goes, I did it once, and then he goes like, is this something I'm going to keep doing? And then he goes, he even said in his article, I went to PPW in Hazleton and I did it again, and it had a huge pop. And I will be one of the guys who went up to him out. I will 100% say I went up to him after the match and like, you're a psychopath. I'm like, that's a legit switch because as
Yeah.
we were in there, me and Dave were there, and I was like, he's legit playing Smash Brothers right now. Like he's
Yeah,
playing
it's
his
a real switch was
it's
on.
a real 100%.
I was like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So he gave PPW some shout outs in his interview, which
that's
is
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was only there one time, I think.
Yeah, once or I think
Yeah.
only once, maybe twice, but definitely
I
once.
think it was twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he just to give them a shout out saying that that's where he kind of really honed in on
and
that gimmick.
I believe, but I'm
Yeah.
not sure he's one of the guys from where the main event's from. What's the name of that place?
He's a House of Glory
yeah,
guy.
House of Glory.
House of
I
Glory,
believe
yes,
so.
He's
yes,
a House
yep.
of Glory guy. Yep, absolutely. All right. I had something. That's it. We did our indies plugs. Let's get into the
There's not much. so.
Brian's little tribute
Yeah, it's
here.
few and far between here. Yeah, sad news this week, as I'm sure a lot of people know already. The Ugandan giant Kamala has passed away.
Literally a couple weeks ago, I watched a whole video of him doing like outtakes with Mean Gene.
No, they're probably funny.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, they were really funny. And he's just like, "You son of a bitch! You were supposed to come here and do promos, and you don't show up." It just seemed like he was a huge goofball. Like he was just fun to be around.
Yeah, those videos are fun. Like everybody's just kind of loose. And
Yeah, there's a video someone
and,
shared today
kinda
of
good
him body slamming Andre
Yeah,
before Hogan. 'Cause if
Yeah.
Andre liked it, he would do that for you.
Yeah.
If you were big enough to. You know?
Mhm.
But if he didn't like it,
Harley Ray slammed Andre.
yeah,
I think the
he
Sheik slammed
suplexed
Andre.
him
a
too.
ton
Yeah,
of
but if he
people
didn't
did.
like it, he beat the shit out of him.
yeah. Or if you took his over the top rope walking. I know not Harley Race.
Andre.
No,
But
Andre.
stepping over the top rope.
Yeah, what's his
He
name?
didn't like big guys because he felt that was a threat to his spot.
Yeah, who was it? Who was the
Big John
Stud? When
Yeah.
when they wrestled, Big John Stud walked in the
Yeah.
ring and did the over the
Oh,
top
yeah.
rope step in, and Andre's like, "That's my thing."
Yeah, well, he didn't like him because he thought that he's coming for his spot. Like he'd be the only
So
big
he
guy.
kicked the shit out of him legit, like just beat him up in the ring, bad.
And nobody got to wear some Bad News Brown.
Yeah,
He punched Ultimate Warrior pretty good one time too,
yeah. They said about that is.
But he held out his hand and the Warrior ran head first.
and
into
knocked himself out
and
cold.
then Andre goes to Heenan. He's learning because
Yeah, he'll
Andre told him
learn.
not to run like that at him.
He'll learn.
He just Ultimate Warrior came bounce on the rope like
Yeah.
a psycho and
That's on the
Trey just bow.
Self-Destruction Ultimate Warrior DVD. Bobby Heenan tells the story.
Yeah, that DVD.
DVD is fantastic. I have 2 copies because they don't make it anymore. Obviously.
Isn't that the one where they just completely
Yeah, they
like,
just bury
they
him.
Yeah.
bury him? They
deserved
put,
it.
They
He
put a
deserves it.
DVD out of the Ultimate Warrior made by WWE, and the entire DVD is them just shitting on the Ultimate Warrior. I guess what
By the way, today I am the Intimate Warrior.
Ooh, look at
The
that shirt. That
Intimate Warrior.
shirt's awesome.
It looks
It's
like a
romance novel.
a romance novel, yeah, and it's the Ultimate Warrior doing looks like a Titanic pose.
He's probably bouncing
Yeah.
off the ropes wrong.
There's like waves
Close one.
crashing over the ropes. Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess they did. I guess from what I read about that article or about that DVD, it wasn't their intention to make a DVD to make fun of the Ultimate Warrior. But when they brought everybody in to tell Warrior stories, it was just an overwhelming response
actually-
of people just saying he wasn't that
Yeah.
good.
My understanding is they wanted to do a Warrior DVD, and he was mad at them at that point and wanted no part of it. So like, okay, let's bury him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I think they wanted to try to get him to be on it, and then he was like, "Nah, fuck you."
Yeah. Then they murdered him
I
the
mean,
day
it's not
after
like
he
they
left Raw.
it's not like they made any of that stuff up. That's the
No,
thing.
no.
Not at all. He made them buy like 80 grand
Yeah,
worth of comic
Yeah,
books.
it was a hit piece, but I mean, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, his comic, it's horrible. It's awful. I have all 4 issues. I think there's might be 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It
All right.
doesn't
Well,
make
let's get back to Kamala, not the Ultimate Warrior.
And the funny thing about this is I kind of wonder if this legitimately had an effect on politics right now. And I'm not going to delve too into that, but the person who is going to be running with Joe Biden as his vice presidential candidate, her name is Kamala Harris, but it's spelled Kamala.
Yeah.
So when Twitter came out, it was like R.I.P. Kamala, and people were like, no, it's the wrestler.
Yeah.
And
Or if you just
I
said
wondered,
hashtag Kamala.
Yeah, did they delay the announcement because of this? I just wonder that. You'll never know,
Yeah.
but I just wondered that.
Do you think
But
she'll
anyway,
paint- do you think she'll paint her
that has nothing
face?
to do with anything.
she should.
Just paint a moon,
A big moon.
and, 2 stars.
Slap her stomach.
I'm moving in 2 stars. That's all.
That's
all
her, that's what she goes to do a big what do they call that? A promo in politics. She just goes.
She comes out to debate with the debate with Kim Chi.
Yeah,
It'll
Kim
be
Chi
great.
comes out. He talks for her.
Would they ever be able to use that gimmick again?
Oh,
No,
I don't know. Maybe for like a gimmick battle royal. I think he was in it, wasn't he?
he was in the Gimmick
Yeah.
Battle Royal. Yeah.
For
but-
Kamala, so you don't know, Kamala was a
A big black man from the wild.
but he was like a jungle
Yeah.
Neanderthal.
Yeah, yeah.
Neanderthal's probably not the
They,
right word to
they
use.
basically acted like he was
Savage.
plucked out of the jungles of Africa and he
Yeah.
was a cannibal.
Yeah,
And he was
and-
going to eat people.
and he couldn't talk,
He
he
didn't know
couldn't read,
technology, and he was just there to beat people up and that stuff like that. And they had a handler, like a little white dude
But
handler.
people back in the '70s believed that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
He had
Even
no
the-
teeth.
the
Was he
fu-
missing teeth?
No, his teeth.
Or he was missing his fronts?
Was he? I don't think.
I thought he was missing
I
his
don't
like.
think so.
I
No,
thought
I don't
he-
think
I
so.
thought he was
I don't
missing
think
his front couple teeth.
The boogeyman was
Yeah.
not Kamala.
No. No. You,
Kamala would do a thing where his finishing move was a big splash, and he would splash the guy on his back, and he would try to pin them, even though the guy was laying on his stomach.
Like
And he
Cameron.
would just roll them over.
like he didn't know anything about
Yeah,
wrestling. And he was
exactly.
just there to.
Yeah. And apparently, when they brought him to USWA, he filmed a promo in the back of Jerry Jarrett's yard. There was like a little stream there. He's going out of the woods.
Everybody did it.
Yeah.
Everybody did it. This is all in what I'm going to say here anyway.
Yeah. Sorry,
so-
we're stealing your thunder.
Yeah. No, it's fine. Everybody's telling stories. It's great. So he's born James Harris on May 28th, 1950 in Senatobia, Mississippi, not Uganda.
Aw.
He had a tough childhood. He had some run-ins with the law, and he wound up moving to Florida. He worked some odd jobs there. He drove a truck. He picked fruit. Wound up moving to Michigan, and in Michigan he met Bobo Brazil, a legendary wrestler who was a huge star, one of the biggest baby faces ever in Detroit. And Bobo Brazil introduced him to Tiny Tim Hampton, who was a friend of his who was a wrestler, not nearly as famous, and that was Kamala's trainer. The cold weather up there didn't really fit well with him, so he moved down to Arkansas, and that's where he worked it was back then called the Southeastern Territory. It was the Arkansas, Alabama territory. And he was Sugar Bear Harris. In
Sugar Bear.
1978, he debuted.
Because he was a big
He was
dude.
also
Yeah.
he was pretty big. Yeah, he was billed as like 6'8", 380. He probably wasn't that big and that heavy, but he was probably like 6'4" and 330. But he
Yeah.
was still a big guy. But he was Big Jim Harris, Ugly Bear Harris, Sugar Bear Harris, and then he won the NWA Southeastern title as Bad News Harris, and then lost it to Terry Taylor. We just talked about
Then
it.
Cock-a-doodle-doo man. Yeah. Terry Taylor
And
had
he
a shout
also
out on the AEW. I don't know if you've seen it with with Ricky Morton's York Foundation shirt.
Oh,
Taylor
yeah.
was in that.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. No, that's a big thing because people have been posting on Twitter and stuff. Where can I get a York Foundation T-shirt?
I think you and Matt should do some kind of York Foundation thing.
Yeah. Hey.
Andrew Heder and Matthew Turner.
There we go.
And yeah, because that was the whole thing. Everybody had their own. It was Richard Morton, Thomas Rich. It wasn't Tommy Rich.
Yeah. And
Terrence
Oh, like
Taylor.
all
'cause
proper
Terry Taylor
names?
was in it
Yeah,
too,
Terrence Taylor,
Yeah.
the computerized man of the 1990s.
That's what I did when I started the podcast. I switched my social media all over to Anthony
Oh,
Blackwell
okay.
instead of Tony. So
To
that's
be
why
more,
I'm
to
like,
be more proper, I guess.
yeah, I don't know. I just thought it's funny because like now, like when I meet people and they only know me through social media, they're like Anthony.
Well, yeah.
And then Heidi's like, who the hell is that? They're like, your husband? He's like, oh, sorry. I'm
well,
not
whatever
used-
name you see is, well, I guess
Yeah.
they go by that.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like a good thing in public. If somebody yells Anthony, I'm like, okay, hi. And someone goes, yo, Blackwell. I'm like, what up? Go ahead, sorry.
So after Bad News Harris, Kamala went over to Europe. He was the Mississippi Mauler there,
Ooh.
and he wasn't like the savage gimmick that Kamala was, but he did some like brawling and brutal wrestling, and it wasn't like he was a technician. He was kind of a fighter, and that was kind of worked into Kamala's gimmick because he wound up going to Memphis, as we were talking about earlier here, through a friend. He was good friends with this guy, Dream Machine Troy Graham, who was a mainstay in Memphis. And he hooked him up with Jerry Lawler and Jerry Jarrett, who ran the territory. They came up with the Kamala character. It was supposed to be that there was this Ugandan dictator at the time, Idi Amin, a very infamous man. And Kamala was supposed to be one of his bodyguards. And then J.J. Dillon discovered him while he was on safari in Africa. You can't make this stuff up.
Safari.
He was on safari in Africa. And that's when, like, they were saying, like, they used to film all these vignettes in Jerry Jarrett's farm.
Yeah.
And so they got a Fox.
No, Brian cuts
hold
it
on,
right
Brian,
out.
hold
Hold on, Brian.
I was in my head. I was thinking, man, it's been going great. And
I'm gonna time that. So-
yeah, go ahead, Brian. You're good now.
You jinxed it, Tony. That's what happened.
I
You
did
jinxed
in
it.
my brain. I jinxed it. I was like, man,
The
it
power
hasn't
of
cut out the
Kamala
whole time.
knocked it
I mean,
out.
I was literally just thinking it. Yeah, yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny if I just came back like talking like Kamala? Ah!
Usually, Jeff.
Uh,
Every time someone like a wrestler passes away and we talk about it, Jeff always says it's the ghost of,
Yeah.
like the ghost of
Yeah.
Andre or the ghost of Kamala.
And they had the smoke machines, and he came out of the woods and on Jerry Jarrett's farm, and he was coming from the jungles of Uganda, and he did really well. He was the back then Memphis was affiliated with the AWA. He was the AWA Southern Heavyweight Champion, which was the Memphis title at that point, kind of the forerunner to the USWA title. After he beat Lawler for that, he feuded with Kamala too. They had an imposter Kamala, which was a large white man. When he later became Uncle Elmer in the old school WWF.
I have an Uncle Elmer.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
I have an Uncle Elmer.
I didn't know
Did he
anyone
get
was
married
actually.
on Saturday Night's Main Event?
Yeah, with chickens walking around.
He might have.
I didn't know anyone was actually named Elmer in real life.
Yeah, well, everyone calls him Butch, but his name is Elmer.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know which one I'd rather there.
Butch.
And then Kamala
Fiction
left
reference.
Memphis in '82, but he kept the gimmick, and he worked pretty much everywhere, Mid-South, world class. His first WWF run was in ¡84. He was one of the first kind of monster guys they put with Hogan. They did a thing on Tuesday Night Titans where they made it look like he ate a live chicken. Like he's like putting the chicken in his mouth, and it cuts to like Vince and Lord Alfred Hayes, like looking disgusting. You just see feathers flying.
Hey, a real chicken. Hey, Dad. Lord Alfred Hayes was the best.
He actually went to Japan as Giant Kamala, and he teamed in All Japan with another Memphis guy named King Cobra for a little bit. He came back to WWF in '86. He worked with Hogan, had a big run with Hogan. That first '84 run, he also worked with Andre. There's a tape. I think it's called like the biggest, the strongest, the biggest, the tallest, the strangest, strongest. I don't know if it's on the network. There's a cage match with Andre and Kamala, and it is amazing
Really?
how much Andre could move back then. I think he was doing like the earthquake splash. I think he might have done it off the top rope. He did some kind of like flying
Holy
moves. Like,
shit.
wow.
Wow.
Look you go, Andre.
Yeah.
Wasn't Andre at one point in time able to do a drop kick?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Andre was athletic when he was younger.
Yeah.
But by the time he's wrestling Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 3, his back is just out. His,
Oh,
body's
his whole
breaking
body's
down.
destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He probably should have quit
And-
wrestling probably 5 years before it did.
Yep.
hmm And he tried. He was trying to get in the movies, and then Vince called him up like, we need to wrestle.
Did you see
Hogan."
the photo? There's a photo that was going around a couple days ago. It was like one of the last photo shoots. It was like a week before he died. He did a photo shoot, and he just was standing there,
Yeah.
and he wasn't even trying to look scary or
Yeah,
intimidating.
just, like, standing
He was
there.
just standing there, and
Yeah.
you could just see on his face he was just so sick of life. He was over it. Like it's just such a horrible like. I don't know. We talked about it last week, but if you haven't checked it out, go check out the HBO documentary of Andre. It's
Absolutely.
it's insane. It's super sad.
And so Kamala gets a second run in the WWF, another run with Hogan in '86. This time he's managed by that's when they bring in Kimchi. Sometimes it's called Friday, and also the Wizard was his manager, who was King Curtis Iaukea, who was one of the all-time great promos. And so when King Curtis left, he was briefly managed by Mr. Fuji, but then he kind of left and went back to Memphis for a while.
Who was the guy in
And
the
when I-
beekeeper suit? It looked like a
That's
bee.
Kim.
That's kimchi.
Uh,
It's like a
Kimchi
safari
or Friday.
with a
Yeah.
mask. Yeah.
Yeah. It looked like a bee. I always thought it was a beekeeper thing when I was a kid, or like what was it? Like a fencing mask.
And you've met the guy who normally played Kimchi, Tony.
Did I? Oh,
Yeah.
Brooklyn Brawler.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So Kamala came back, and this is where I really remember him, because I was a little young for the other Kamala stuff, but he came back in 1992 with Kimchi and Harvey Whippleman,
Mm-hmm.
another Memphis guy, downtown Bruno. And he feuded with The Undertaker. They did a match at SummerSlam 92, which was in England. Undertaker comes out on a hearse. It's awesome. And the feud ended that year at Survivor Series when Undertaker defeated Kamala in the first ever televised casket match.
Mm.
And so right after that,
Did
they
Kamala
did this thing where
ever? Did Kamala ever rival Papa Shango?
No, they weren't around at the same time.
No,
Well,
they
they
didn't
were,
really
but
overlap a lot.
yeah,
Papa Shango was more 91.
Okay,
yeah.
so he kind of like maybe took over that role from Kamala.
It's possible. Yeah, Papa Shango didn't really last that long.
Yeah, he wasn't. Maybe a year, not even a year, I don't think.
It was memorable, but it was quick. It was pretty quick. And then after the casket match with Undertaker, they start doing this thing where Harvey Whippleman and Kamala, or Harvey Whippleman and Kimchi are just abusing Kamala. Like they're hitting him and slapping him if he does something wrong, and it's just like they're obviously treating him badly. So Reverend Slick, who was this longtime heel manager, who got power slammed by the British Bulldog, and he saw the light and became a reverend because wrestling.
Pro wrestling.
But I mean, he's an actual reverend, so I think it was like he wanted to be more of the real guy.
Yeah.
Like he wanted to be more of the real person and not this
Slick
because
Slick.
he's a very devout religious man and he didn't want to be a bad guy manager anymore. So he became Reverend Slick, and he's managing Kamala, and he's just trying to make him be. He's like, you're not a monster, you're a man. He's trying to like teach him how to bowl and do stuff like that. And that was kind of
Pro
the end of
wrestling.
Kamala. He left around like late '93, early '94.
But then he joined the Dungeon of Doom for a little bit.
Yeah, with King
in
Curtis.
WCW, yeah.
He did some indies. He actually, when he made all that money with Hogan, he bought 2 trucks and became an owner-operator truck driver. But yeah, he came back as part of the Dungeon of Doom with the Shark, who was Earthquake, and the Zodiac, who was Brutus Beefcake.
And
Horrible.
Kevin Sullivan, no, it was bad.
Sullivan!
Yeah.
Beefcake's character was the worst.
Yeah.
But that guy, the wizard I was talking about earlier, was that guy that would sit on that throne-looking thing, and he had like spider webs on him. That was King Curtis.
Yeah, and his skin was supposed to be like rocks or something. I was like, why is he so
Yeah.
dirty?
He was a golem.
Yeah, the
We just didn't know what
Dungeon
golem
of
was
Doom.
back then.
Oh,
And
man.
then after that WCW run ended in '95, he would do indies a lot around like Memphis and the South, around there where he lived. He did come back for the Gimmick Battle Royal at WrestleMania X7. They brought him back for the Divas Search, where one of the challenges was like the Divas all had to try to seduce Kamala. So
Oh
they were
my
like trying to hit on him.
God.
He's going,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like hitting his stomach.
Unbelievable.
And he did have, I don't know if Brian's going to get to it, but he did have a match with Daniel Bryan in like 2012 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a match with Dan Bryan. He had a match with Orton.
Yeah.
He was in TNA and Jay Lethal's wedding when they did Jay Lethal's wedding with SoCal Val. He was one of Eugene's candidates to be Eugene's partner on a Taboo Tuesday show, but it wound up being Jimmy Snuka.
That's funny.
And unfortunately, by around 2010, shortly after that, his health was getting to the point where wrestling just wasn't going to happen anymore. His last match was actually the show that Insane Clown Posse promoted, and he had been suffering from diabetes since around like '92. Like when he was wrestling for WWF at that point, he was diagnosed with diabetes, and it got worse and worse. He actually had to have his left leg amputated in 2011. His right leg was amputated in 2012. A little bit later, he was also suffering from hypertension. He had to have emergency heart surgery in 2017, and he barely survived that. And what happened to him here is he was on kidney dialysis, so he has to go back and forth to these dialysis appointments. And somewhere along the way, he caught COVID-19, and he wound up passing from a heart attack that was brought on by hypertension and coronavirus.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Jericho gave money to one of his surgeries and then for the funeral.
For the
too.
funeral costs,
Yeah.
yeah. Jericho, man, that dude will help anybody out. In
Yeah,
the
there was a
wrestling
list
business.
of all like people he gave to over the years.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's great.
All right. On Evil Dave, welcome to the stream. Watching over on the YouTube side of things. Evil Dave followed. Evil Dave. Evil Day.
Oh, I was gonna say maybe.
No,
Who
Evil,
this is?
Evil Day. He watched one of my game
Have you ever
streams.
tried
so-
being nice, Dave?
Yeah, yeah. Dave, you son
It's
of a bitch.
Not Dave Day. But yeah, so that does that wrap it up for the Kamala
Yeah,
segment?
that is pretty much the story of Kamala.
All right. Well,
the
let's
Uganda giant.
let's wrap. Let's roll through here to the week of wrestling. We won't try to dwell too much on everything, but we'll kind of
Yeah.
get through it quick here.
Yeah, SmackDown. A lot of it was built around the Bray Wyatt, Alexa Bliss thing. Braun is not dead. He's
No.
on a Zoom call. He's
But now he's more
he's
evil.
Oh, that's
he's-
good.
I'm even more evil than you ever thought, bro.
And then he's gonna come out and do exactly the same thing.
And then like Bray did
I
this
don't
whole
care
thing.
about Alexa Bliss. I just
Bray
wanna
did this
beat
whole
you.
thing with his hand for 5 minutes in
Yeah.
front of Alexa's face.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. Kind of lost it for me. I'm gonna be honest. It was kind of like, all right,
You're not the only one.
But then she said, "No, don't give me the mandible claw.
Don't
And
do
he
it.
didn't.
Oh.
no,
And
she
he-
rubbed
and
his
he-
face like she cared about
Yeah.
him, and then he
Yeah.
kind of like, no.
She should have like DDT'd him.
She should dislocate her arm.
Yeah.
Look at
She
you.
should have had the. She should have had the fire contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt Riddle beat Sheamus on SmackDown. Pretty decent match. The same thing again
That's
with
all
Shorty
right.
G trying to.
Well, he beat him on disqualification.
Yeah, it was a DQ. Shorty
Yeah.
G tried to collect the bounty again, and Sheamus got mad at him and went and gave Shorty G a bro kick. And then we had the dirt sheet with Sonya Deville, and they had the little thing on the video thing where Mandy's hair was talking as.
It was
as
corny, but
Mandy.
it was funny. I don't know.
I
It was
I
very
heard
corny.
that their segment last week was like one of the worst segments ever. I don't.
I'm
I don't
pretty
think I
s-
could stand it. I didn't watch
It's
it.
one of those things where they are being put in the worst things ever, and they're trying to make the best of it as they possibly can.
Mhm.
It's
But
bad.
oh, is it real
Yeah,
bad?
it's bad.
Is it New Day, old day segment? I don't remember that. That
It's
was terrible.
better.
Oh,
Or
It's
the Time
better.
Machine.
It's still better than the Street Profits.
Oh, the Street Profits are real bad.
I'll tell you that. It's still
Real
better than the
bad.
Street Profits. Yeah, it's rough, but yeah, I'll let Brian go here. Go ahead.
Mandy Rose did eventually come out later on, and I think her short-haired look is just her without extensions.
Yeah, just 100% her without
Oh,
extensions.
what does it go to like her shoulders?
Yeah, and it looks awesome.
Oh.
Yeah.
It looks awesome.
Cesaro beat Lindsay Dorado. Very good match.
Very good
Oh
match.
yeah, I seen them wrestle before in Chikara.
We had the thing with Braun and we had the thing with Braun and Bray that we were kind of mentioning earlier.
Mhm.
And so Jeff Hardy then beat Corbin. Like, they were just a continuation of what happened before,
Yeah.
where this is a DQ. Sheamus bro kicks Jeff Hardy on the outside, but not to kind of continue that feud. He's mad at Corbin because Corbin's bounty got him disqualified. He's like, you took my win, I take yours.
So then we get 2 Baron Corbin matches and 2
Oh.
Sheamus
Yeah.
matches
Oh.
on the same night.
I'm not too upset about the Sheamus matches, but yeah, I don't need two
Ugh.
Baron
But
Corbin matches.
you have so pretty much he causes his qualification and
Yeah.
says, well, instead of us doing it next week, let's just both do it now.
Yeah.
So then it just goes from a DQ match earlier to another DQ match. Then those 2 DQ matches lead to another match.
Mm.
It was
where
just-
where Sheamus wins because Matt Riddle distracts Corbin because we can't have clean finishes.
Yes, apparently.
yeah.
Well, this sounds awful.
Yeah. It
It
was
is. It's the
it was a
worst.
huge, and remember how we said before, like the week before, like they did that whole promo in the beginning and we
Yeah.
liked it? Abandon that.
Really,
Yeah,
Yeah.
SmackDown took a step backwards.
Ugh.
Yeah.
it is. It's the
Yeah.
worst it's ever been. I'll be honest. It was pretty bad. Like when
WWE
Triple H was world champion there for a while, and he was beating everybody. Like
The
2008.
WWE project is tough.
That
like,
sucked.
It's tough to watch.
And people say it sucks in like '90, like right before like Diesel and Shawn Michaels were world champion. I didn't think so. That was all right.
If there's anything here, Curtis, that you want to interject with your take on stuff on SmackDown, please feel free.
Oh, I'm just waiting for Impact, man, because that was a heck of a show.
Yeah. All right, what else we had on SmackDown? here? Let's
They did a Zoom call with Bailey and Sasha and Stephanie. Basically, the big thing there is you're going to get a triple brand battle royal next week on SmackDown. Well, this week now, tomorrow, where the winner of the battle royal wrestles Bailey at SummerSlam.
This might
Maybe
be
they-
interesting.
That might be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Maybe they
is
throw an NXT person there. Maybe Mercedes Martinez gets a shot at
Yeah.
Bailey. Who knows?
Do
or Mercedes is about to win, and Rhea takes her out and builds
There
up,
you
and then
go.
like, hey,
Maybe.
go watch NXT.
Maybe, yeah, maybe both eliminate each other. So is this building towards Steph versus Bailey or Sasha?
No, I think
I don't
Steph
wanna
is,
see that.
Steph is trying to just be like a face here, where she's just trying to. I don't know. I don't
She's
see.
trying to be, I think, the impartial.
Yeah.
commissioner.
Are
I
Steph and
don't
her a
see-
good guy versus Bailey
I
and
don't see
Sasha?
Bailey losing her singles title yet, but I don't
Yeah.
see why they don't build it up to, well, all right, well then now you guys have to defend your tag team titles and put the titles on like a different tag team.
Yeah, they should.
Maybe
have.
there's like a
Hopefully.
big surprise here. Maybe Ember Moon's ready or something like that.
Or that'd be fantastic.
That'd be
Or-
weird though. Ember Moon and Bailey twice in a row at SummerSlam. That would be something.
How about that?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Bailey, I mean, Ember Moon was very critical on the way they handled the whole situation with Sane leaving. She's like, you're gonna send this girl out on getting beat up, and that's how you're gonna do it is by Asuka losing through count out. Like, she was very critical on the
Well,
storyline. She's like,
Usually, you always lose when you go out. So
yeah, she's like, I didn't like the way they handled that. This like how Asuka drops her title.
I
but-
didn't like the way they held Kyrie Sane the whole time.
yeah,
How about that?
Yeah.
yeah.
Except in NXT.
But hopefully, it is SmackDown, I think, right? With
Yeah.
with the Riot Squad. So hopefully the Riot Squad.
Oh no, that's Raw.
Yeah,
Riot Squad. As
maybe
well.
Riot Squad is a
Well,
team
yeah,
that
if
takes.
it's all 3 brands, yeah.
Hopefully Riot
Yeah.
Squad takes them out. I want to see Riot Squad with the tag titles.
And then in the main event, it was Heavy Machinery against Miz and Morrison. And
Ugh.
surprise, surprise, Miz and Morrison lose.
Oh boy,
You wait 2 hours to see that match?
yeah, that's how they
Well,
ended the show.
then we had our main event
Oh,
angle
sorry.
where
Oh,
Retribution, these
Ugh.
these wild people in masks and carrying weapons. They kind of, it was very much like the Nexus angle from 2010. They're coming out and they're chasing away the announcers. They're destroying everything. They go out into the crowd and beat up the NXT people. They took a chainsaw and cut up the ropes.
That's funny at least.
Spray painted the barriers. Now here's my
Yeah.
thing. When they unmask, if they're all just project or performance people,
Yeah, people are like,
no one's gonna
it's
care.
like wah, wah.
Like what? There has to at least be one person in that mask that has some type of.
Yeah.
We
beef
could do like
against-
it's one guy, he's their leader, and I mean the guy where it would really work, and he's not going to do it is CM Punk, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, didn't he tease?
Rusev,
didn't he tease
maybe?
something, saying that he's interested in possibly coming back?
Punk likes to play around people, and
Yeah.
at this point, I think it's just as much they don't want Punk as Punk doesn't want them.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not getting my hopes up with this Retribution because, like I said, they're all gonna
wouldn't.
take their masks off and everybody's gonna be like, well, who are these guys?
I'm
Like,
not sorry.
when it comes to Raw or SmackDown, the smart move is to always not get your hopes. up.
Yeah, just go into it being knowing it's going to be bad.
Yeah. What did you think of SmackDown?
It was okay. I wouldn't say it was my favorite, but I mean, it could have been better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but
What storyline are you most invested in right now with the SmackDown side?
honestly, probably the Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss thing.
Okay.
Like how the beginning of the show started.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
What about the women's champion side with the tag teams and the world title? I know you're not a big Bailey fan.
I mean, I don't see why they have like all the women titles because like there's a tag team and then
Yeah.
like at least give other people like other women a chance for the
Mhm.
titles and stuff.
Yeah. Who would you do you think Bailey deserves the world title right now, or who do you think should have the world title on the SmackDown side?
I'm not sure. Like I mean, it could be like they could do a battle royal thing
Mm-hmm.
type thing, but I don't-
That's what we're gonna get.
yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I'm hoping Bailey doesn't win.
Yeah, I don't see her dropping the main title, but I think maybe them losing the SmackDown titles.
Probably.
I
And
see
it's-
them losing the tag titles first.
Yeah, I think the tag titles is
I don't know
first.
to who.
I actually think this might be even bold to say here, but I think Banks loses her title before Bailey
I can
loses
see
hers.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they just did Bailey dirty so many times when she had the championship, like where she went and got squashed by Alexa Bliss in the kendo stick match, and like
Yeah, it was not a good match.
where like, and now they're like, all right, we kind of did you dirty. Like,
just have the belt for 2 years.
yeah, rode her for 2 years.
Until Ronda
I guess
decides
the
to come
big
back.
rumor now, I guess the big rumor now is that Vince loves Bailey's character right now, and that the 3 women he's really, really high on at this point are her, Bianca Belair, and Peyton Royce.
Yeah, I wonder why he's high on Peyton Royce. I wonder what it could be.
Yeah, no idea. I don't know. I wouldn't be. I mean, Iconics are hilarious.
Yeah,
But I would.
Peyton's really hot. But I mean, that's about it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, just eventually, how you always say, eventually that bell has to
Yeah,
ring.
like Bruce Pritchard says, that damn bell has to ring.
Yeah.
And
All right,
Bi-
let's
Billy
get
Kay gets in
into
there.
Monday night, 3 hours of Raw.
And I think about 2 hours and 15 minutes of that was poor Walter Mysterio getting the hell caned out of him.
It was like
By,
watching the Passion of the Christ.
He did have a lot of welts on him, blood. Like, oh,
He was bleeding.
I
when they
can't
came
feel
to
good.
They
Yeah.
beat the garbage
because
out
they're
of him.
still they're still doing the thing where Joe and Rollins have this kind of tension.
Once
and
again,
I still think it's
Joe watched
I
the
still
whole
think it's going to
thing.
wind up being.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know him that well. I ain't gonna help him out.
Joe last week was ready to get in the ring to beat up Seth Rollins, and then watched 2-on-1 where Dominic was doing well, and he just like, I'm gonna go back to commentary.
Yeah.
And then this week he's like, I'm a big mad man. I don't take no shit. And then he's like, Dominic's getting beat like Jesus
He's
in the
sitting there
ring,
like-
and he's just like, this is out of control. I'm like, Joe,
Somebody get some help out here.
get a ref out here or something. Joe
I
just
still
sits there.
think they might wind up doing Joe and Dominic against Murphy and Rollins.
I
Yeah, I
don't
can see
know. Just
that.
keep Joe at the commentary table because
Or-
I think when he got up last week
or-
and took a suit jacket off, he might have pulled something. He's just always getting
That's not
hurt.
right.
He's always hurt.
Or Ray, unless they made a deal with Ray and Ray comes back, and it's gonna be Ray and Dominic against,
Yeah.
which is I think the original plan was.
Yeah, everyone's
so
saying
Seth-
Ray's gonna go AEW, but not if they're giving his kid.
I heard
So-
Meltzer said that he signed, he re-signed.
Oh, he did
Yeah,
resign.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
But they didn't say
Oh.
for what amount or whatever. But or he's staying, but he didn't. Like, I don't see him going.
Yeah. Especially when they're putting his
And-
kid up against like
Yeah.
the way they are.
and then Seth Rollins beat our buddy Dale Gass, Humberto Carrillo.
Who apparently I read that Vince gave up on.
Oh, absolutely.
It's pretty evident.
So
I gave
he'll
up-
be on main event.
I gave up on him when he came out looking like a Power Ranger with no helmet on.
Yeah. There's a guy who
So they-
benefit from having a mask.
Yeah.
Because wow, this guy looks so cool.
Yeah.
But not now.
So throughout the show, and this is like not something they just did once or twice here, but throughout the show they had retribution. The lights would dim on and off, and things would go bad, and things like that. They kind of played that in the end. And then they threw a brick or a cinder block through a window, and then they just threw another cinder block through the open, broken window.
Why
for
don't they
some
just
reason.
call the police? They're not threatening the wrestlers at all, but they're threatening the building and the
They flipped over a car.
well-being of the studio.
Like, what's their angle here?
Yeah.
Like, we're angry. Why?
we're just
Because
gonna
we're
do it.
performance guys.
We're gonna do annoying things.
I don't know.
Okay.
There's this
All
guy
right.
who used to be a big YouTube commentator, the Spoony one, and you can still find this. He did a thing where he live watched the Impact where Samoa Joe got kidnapped by ninjas,
Oh God.
and he's
yeah,
just yelling like about ninjas on TV. Call the cops. If you look up Samoa Joe ninjas on TV on YouTube, you'll find it. It's the same thing. It's like call the police. Like
Yeah. Just call the
Yeah.
cops.
Now here's are they playing into this looting and destroying
I think so, yeah.
property? What's
Someone
happening?
showed Vince
people
something.
have called this. I've seen people online call this the quote unquote Antifa stable.
Oh my god!
Well, I'm sure they showed Vince. I'm sure Vince had no idea.
It's like,
And
this
they
is
said,
good
Vince,
shit.
there's riots going on. What? And then they showed him. He goes, we should put that on TV.
We should put them on.
We gotta bring back the riots.
And he probably said, you know who should be? Should be all the black guys, MVP. And that's what he probably
They
said.
probably did,
And
and
they
they're
said,
probably like,
whoa,
"Whoa, Vince,
let's not do all that, Vince.
Vince, bring it back. We were trying to stay on TV here. You know, you're killing us, Vince." And he's like, "What? That's not cool
Yeah.
anymore." It's like, "No, Vince, it's not. You can't do that." But the only problem with this is A, there's no direction to it. B, I don't see them being a big name under those masks. So when they do take them off, it's gonna be like no one cares.
Yeah, who would it be?
And
Unless it's Undisputed Era, but I'm like, why were they doing that?
yeah, and then the next thing here is, like, there's already a group of ninjas running around wearing the same costume, so it's like
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
confusing of who's doing what.
Yeah, a lot of people thought when Rich Reese came out, it was the ninjas. Like, why are the ninjas doing that?
When they showed them like throwing the Molotov cocktails at the transfer that first week, and that was the only thing they did, like on camera, like that was the ninjas. Why'd they do that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's bad. And then so here's the thing that makes no sense too. So their angle is they're trying to destroy WWE property, but WWE tweets that a new stable's going to come on and do
Yeah, why would they do that?
like we know these guys
Yeah,
are
these
coming
guys-
to
These
destroy
guys
our.
would come wreck our show.
I don't know. Just once again, WWE just has the ball and goes bye bye and throws it over their shoulder. Bad news bears. All right, let's get on to the next segment here.
Then we had kind of like
4
a
hours to
2-for-1
kill.
segment where Angelo Dawkins beat Andrade because
He was poisoned.
Bianca Belair. Well, no, nobody's poisoned today. Montez Ford is still recovering from being poisoned.
Yeah, being poisoned.
And so Bianca ran out to kind of go after Vega 'cause she blames Vega for the poisoning. Vega's claiming it's not her. So
Bright
maybe
note
it's
on this, though.
retribution, who knows?
Bright note on this: we got to see Selena Vega wrestle.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
pretty good.
I mean,
Yeah, Bianca beat Zelina Vega. For me, obviously she's a lot smaller. Zelina Vega always made to me she always looks like a younger Trish Stratus, but more Latin features, obviously. And then they basically ask if there's any. Charlie just asked Bianca Belair, is there any evidence that that Zelina Vega was the one that did the poison? And it was like, no.
I don't know. Is it gonna be Retribution? I would assume that's who's poisoning.
Or is it gonna be Angelo Dawkins?
Yeah,
they're gonna split them up.
Maybe it is.
Or just be exactly who we said it was.
Or do
Selena
they
Vega and her team.
or do they forget about it?
Probably forget about it.
Probably, yeah.
They'll
That's
have their
always good.
match
That's
and they'll be
always
like, oh, it was them.
Yeah. Or they just don't mention it at all.
Yuck.
That's what's gonna happen when we
Like-
Raw Underground. They're just not gonna
I
mention
want
it.
to poison myself when I watch Raw right now.
It was the hacker. The hacker. did
Oh,
it.
the hacker. Maybe it's whoever was behind GTV.
Gold
Who's a deep
Dust.
cut? Maybe it's whoever ran down. Oh no, Rikishi ran down Stone Cold. Somebody who ran down in
Yeah.
person in NXT. They never found out. Remember that with the Hummer, or was it?
Yeah.
Wasn't that the
That was
storyline?
WCW. The Hummer was WCW.
Oh yeah, who didn't someone run over somebody in NXT?
Oh, Sheamus tried to run over Jeff Hardy a couple months ago.
No, in NXT.
I'm
don't
trying to
remember.
think of the NXT one.
There was-
That was Gargano. He beat up Black, and it ended up being
Oh.
Gargano.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah, how about that? NXT actually paid it off.
yeah.
Crazy.
All right, let's get moving through Raw.
We
here.
had a little back and forth with Apollo Crews and MVP, and this is setting up their match. And about it being Shelton beating Apollo in a non-title
Apollo's coming
match.
off kind of heelish though, man. He's like super cocky.
Well, I guess because the group is heels, so I mean, well, no,
Yeah.
he's not with them, but he should be with them. So just put him with them.
Yeah, he's like super cocky.
Yeah,
I don't know.
he
And
does come off as good.
Mickey James is back.
Wow,
as well.
good.
Looks fantastic.
Did she wrestle or did she just do a promo?
Promo backstage. They're kind of setting up a thing with her against Natalia and Lana.
Okay,
What if she's the one who wins the Rumble?
maybe.
She goes for
I
Bayley's
thought you were gonna
title.
say, what if she was the one that poisoned the Street Profits?
She was. She was the one who poisoned the street because she's a big country.
What
Why?
if she's
Yeah,
She's
part
a
of
country
Retribution?
music fan and she
Yeah.
doesn't like the hip hop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if Mickey James is the hacker?
Yeah. What if Mickey James ran down Stone Cold? Oh boy.
It's Kane.
What if
It's
Mickey
gotta be
James
Kane.
raised the briefcase?
yeah. Remember that? They never said who did that.
Ed Ferreira called that rainy day booking.
Rainy
Like,
day.
we'll save that for a rainy day.
Oh god.
What if Mickey James was DDP's benefactor?
Yeah. What
And
if she was the stalker of Undertaker's wife?
That was DDP.
Yeah, I know.
Then we had an 8-man tag that lasted 1 minute and 11 seconds, where the Viking Raiders, Ricochet, and Cedric Alexander beat Akira Tozawa and the Ninjas.
Just hand them all their contracts. See you later.
Yeah.
Peyton Royce beat Liv Morgan. They kind of did a thing where like Liv Morgan was trying to help, Ruby Riott was trying to help Liv Morgan, but accidentally cost her the match. I was like, is the Riott Squad already over before it starts again?
Yeah.
Well,
They're gonna have a big.
they broke up, got back together.
They're gonna
and
have a big
that's
hug
why
it out
it's,
moment soon.
So Shane McMahon greeted his big security guard at the door, who was the big tall ninja from that goofy thing with the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders.
No.
So yeah, Big Jordan. So he's like Raw Underground's almost here, and they always say it's at 10 o'clock, but it's always before 10 o'clock, and it's always over by 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's over by 10.
It starts
Yeah.
like 9:45 and it's all like 20-second squashes.
So you had Riddick Moss beat Cal Bloom by knockout. It was a little more competitive than a lot of them have been, but it's just you've seen it all. You've seen one of these Raw Underground things, you've seen them all.
Yeah.
And we've only ever seen
Os-
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen 2 now.
And like I
Yeah.
said, MVP took over last week and apparently forgot this week.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah,
oh,
he's-
he goes, shit, I'm supposed to be over there.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, I have a title shot. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna worry about that instead.
And maybe the dancing girls weren't dancing because they were going to fight. Remember, Shane told them they could fight this week.
And they're like, well, we're not showing up.
Yeah. They could have fought Shayna.
Asuka beat Bailey. Asuka beat Bailey to earn a women's title match against Sasha at SummerSlam.
Was that all right?
And then we had we were back at Raw Underground. Oh, I forgot about this. Arturo Uas won a match with a spin kick.
That's an awful name.
Yeah, it's basically it's like the whole pick. Like Arturo Gatti was a big boxer,
Okay.
and Marco Uas was a UFC fighter. So they mashed the 2 names together.
Maybe it should
I
took the
think
other
it's
two
that
names.
I think it's that Adrian Jaoud guy. He was in NXT for a while.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. But that's an awful name.
He's in like the Cruiserweight Classic, I think, too.
You're there.
So he
and-
wins his thing.
yeah. You pick any
And then
name
we
in the
had
world.
Dabakato just beat a guy, like just grabbed him and punched him.
Speaking
Oh
of
no,
awful
this
names.
is the best part. This is the best part. He just grabbed the guy by the groin and like squeezed. The guy was like acting like it was
And he
was,
tapped. Testicular claw.
Yep.
No,
Oh,
he,
my-
he grabs him. He's like screaming and he punches him.
So if the ratings this week for a Raw Underground is down, do you think it will exist next week then?
No, because it wasn't Shane's fault. Everything else sucks around Shane. It's a Shane thing.
No, I mean, do you think they just will totally get rid of Raw Underground if the ratings are down this week and next week?
I think
Or
it's just going to go away very soon.
Because they tape
Or
two.
I still,
Do they tape 2 weeks in one taping?
I think they do. They tape them in like.
Okay, so
stages,
let's
yeah.
say this week and next week has already been taped. If the ratings are down for both, in 3 weeks, does Raw Underground exist? I'm gonna say no.
I would think it'd be smart to say no, but it is Shane McMahon's.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not. He don't get final say.
Yeah, but I mean, it's his face being on TV, and I think he's an egomaniac.
Okay.
So
Well, I don't think that has anything to do with it because he don't have any control.
yeah,
It
No.
was kind of flat from last week, which was up from the weeks before. So maybe it stays here. A little
Okay,
bit.
but I mean, if it keeps dropping ratings wise, I think we'll get rid of it
yeah.
pretty quick.
I mean, I would.
I
Scrap it.
would get rid of it right now. I'd say I wouldn't even mention it. I would just have a totally new Raw and not mention 75% of the things that happened.
I think they should drop it back
Then,
down to normal hours and not
yeah.
do 3 anymore.
Everybody does.
After Dabakato beat the guy by grabbing him in the unmentionables and punching him,
In his Raw
And-
Underground.
yeah, in Raw Underground. Then Shayna Baszler came in and she wanted to fight the big guy. She wanted to fight the big 7-footer.
They
Shane's
shoulda
telling her
did it.
no. And so she goes out and grabs 3 women out of the crowd and just knocks them around, and
So-
that's it for Raw Underground. For
So
the
what
day.
would be the benefit of being a crowd member there if you could possibly get beat up?
'Cause you're
in
not
the
allowed-
underground.
Yeah, in
You're
storyline.
part of
like,
the
why would you
exclusive
be
club.
there?
Because you don't have to wear a mask and be out the ring.
Yeah, I get it. So maybe, hey, if you don't want to wear a mask, you be in Raw Underground.
Raw Underground's anti-mask.
like
maskers.
storyline. Why would anyone want to be there?
Yeah,
The fights all suck, and like, you could possibly be.
and
beat
there's not
up.
even strippers anymore.
Yeah,
So there's no point to be there.
and they didn't say like, "Hey, the winner gets all this money" or something. And I'm like, okay, it's such a bad idea. It's awful.
Could you imagine if someone was on screen and they're just like, "This sucks. I'm out of
Yeah,
here."
they just walk out.
I'm not getting beat up. Here comes the truth pain, or the hurt pain, or
Yeah,
whatever they're
the
called.
pain. I don't know.
The pain police,
pain
or whatever.
factory.
I don't know.
The Hurt Locker.
The Fear Factory.
The Hurt Locker. All right, let's get
Hurt
through.
business,
Let's
the
get
Hurt
out of
business.
Raw
Was
here.
that the main event?
No, the main event
Ugh.
was Kevin Owens and
Ugh.
Kevin Owens lost to Randy Orton,
Clean.
and then this next part I hated the Ric Flair Randy Orton thing.
Oh yeah.
Did they black it out on TV for you?
Yes. So they blacked out so
Yeah.
Randy didn't have to actually kick Ric Flair.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not going to really. Ric Flair can't take bumps, so that's why he did. He really over exaggerated, like easing himself down after the low blow, and he didn't. And they put the lights out, so Orton didn't really have to kick him.
I'll tell you
or
what
even
though.
do a work
Here was the good thing about this. I hate obviously the Ric Flair thing, but I thought the speech going up to it was really
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
Like Randy Orton said some stuff that you're like, oh, you scumbag. Like
Mhm.
like talked about his dead kid.
I didn't like it when Paige brought up Reed Flair. I don't like it when Randy Orton. did it.
Yeah, I didn't like it either, but it was
I,
one of
I
the,
would never bring that up for Heat ever,
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
It was, and then like how Flair,
Maybe he was talking about David Flair though.
yeah, and then he pretty much said, "I'm the kid that you never had."
Yeah, I'm the son that you always wanted. Is what he said.
Yeah. But and then when Flair's rebuttal speech to him was amazing,
Was it?
and it wasn't even like a hyped up Flair. It was
Yeah.
like a very calm, cool, collect Flair, and it was done really, really well. So like,
It's Ric Flair.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, the speech, the 2 promos leading up to it was good, but then all of a sudden, like, I don't know, like, what's his name? McIntyre comes running down, and then he's just like, "You bastard, I'm gonna beat you up," and Randy's still standing there, like. I would be like, all right, there's 8 of you guys got Flair. Cool, I'm gonna go beat him up now. Like it
Yeah.
was just like, and he just kept going, "You son of a bitch,
Mm.
son of a," like just over and I'm like, go fight him then if you're that
Yeah.
upset about it. Like, I don't know, pro wrestling.
Bad pro wrestling. Well, that's Raw.
Yeah,
Yes. So it's to run through Impact, and this is what Curtis is.
So
this
let's
is what
get to
Curtis
some
has
better
been for
wrestling
a
now.
while
I didn't see
here.
any of Impact.
I enjoyed Impact. I wish it would have had a little more pizzazz to it, but it wasn't. I didn't dislike it.
Okay.
It was definitely better than Raw and SmackDown.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most surprising thing at the end of the night was Eddie Edwards' open challenge, because I wasn't expecting him to fight EY like he wanted, but I was really excited to see Brian Myers, aka Kurt Hawkins, come out and show him that he doesn't suck and he doesn't lose 300 matches in a row. Like, they let him do what he's best at, and I thought it was a really good match for the main event.
But he still lost.
Oh, he got a world. The internet was so upset. They're like, "Why would you bring a guy in for a world title? Like, why would you give him a title opportunity?" I'm like, "It's an open challenge.
Yeah, absolutely.
First come, first serve. Like that's how it works."
Yeah, no,
wouldn't be
he
mad at
definitely
that.
had to lose due to booking, but it's funny how you're like, it's good they brought him in to show him that all he doesn't do is lose. And I was like, but he lost.
But see, when he lost in WWE, all they did was squash him.
Yeah, he was
He never
squashed.
got an opportunity to fight.
I
And
agree.
like he actually fought in this, and he looked good.
Yeah, the house stuff was kind of, I think
Wrestle House.
the Wrestle House
That sounds awful from what I've
week,
heard.
last week was entertaining. This week was rough.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
It's
bad.
very tongue in cheek. It's the closest thing that Impact does to WWE comedy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they should probably abandon that.
Yeah.
The only reason I like it is because it's very similar. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the TV show Big Brother that they do every summer, and they have
Yeah.
all these contestants in a house, and they vote them off. Actually, one of my personal friends was on that show last year, so I'm like, oh, this is really cool. They're doing something like a spinoff of Big Brother. But I like a match they're building up for next week, though. That's going to be really good, and that's Kylie Ray, the #1 contender for the Knockouts title, versus Taya Valkyrie for night 1 of Emergent.
Yeah.
So that's going to be
It
really
should be
cool.
pretty good.
Now, Emergent, is that a pay-per-view you have to pay for?
No, I think it's going to be on Axis and Twitch. It's kind of like what AEW did with Fyter Fest, and they had
Yeah.
it 2
Okay.
weeks. It's like the same exact thing. So it's just Emergent night 1 and then
Oh,
Emergent
okay.
night 2 the following week.
The match, the show opened. I know we're bouncing all over the place. The show opened with Willie Mack and
Eric Young.
Eric Young. It was a good match. It was kind of like a street fight type deal, though. I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head everything that kind of happened.
I have it pulled up here. We had Jordan Grace versus Kimber Lee.
That didn't do much for
Oh,
me.
Kimberly's there now?
Yeah.
I know she was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
her,
she signed.
Yeah, her husband's there now too. I think she's married.
Poor
to,
Jordan Grace
Zachary
did not
Wentz.
win. She just came off her title, lost, and now she loses to a newcomer.
Well, I mean, Kimberly
Jordan
went a
Grace
little
won, I
nuts there
think.
for a while. So
I thought
Yeah,
she
I'm
lost.
pretty sure
Not
Grace won.
I thought she lost. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, it says she won. Yeah, Grace defeated Lee.
Oh, you know what? You know why?
Yeah, she beat her with a sleeper. Yeah.
All right, so here's what happened. My where I watch it, it cuts it in half or cuts it in sections, and Impact does this weird thing where when they cut to commercial, they play music. So when I was kind of like watching it and doing other things, so it cut to commercial and it showed like the girl, her standing over Jordan Reese, and then it played the music to go to commercial, and I was like, so she just won and they cut away, and then so that's what that stuck to
okay.
my head.
Yeah,
It's
that's where
weird
you
to do
got
that
confused,
weird. They
yeah.
do weird music when they cut to show. So it's like
Nitro
there's-
used to do that.
Yep.
It's weird. I don't know. It's super strange. They had a lot of audio issues to start the show. The audio sounded really rough.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but it was a good. I mean, like, listen, they're doing what they're doing. It's working out for them.
Ace do anything? on
Ace is setting up a thing with him versus the Good Brothers.
Okay.
Him and
Yeah, it's him
Fulham
and Madman Fulton.
and the Good
Yeah.
Brothers.
there? Him and not Vinny Marsali from ROH.
Yeah, they're doing this whole thing where like you're never gonna find us, and we'll see it. We'll see you when it's on our time
okay.
type deal. Which should be
Yeah,
fun.
that match was announced for first night of Immersion. It'll be the Good Brothers versus Ace Austin and
Yeah.
Madman Fulton night 1.
The
cool.
Good Brothers came down and interrupted a match that wasn't really going anywhere anyway.
Yeah, it's what was it? It was Dez versus Suicide, which is kind of funny because
Suicide?
the Rascals are trying to figure out who Suicide is.
Yeah,
They've been trying to figure out who Suicide is for 20 years in TNA.
I think is it still?
It was TJP. I don't know who it is.
I don't
now.
know if
Maybe
it's
it's still
TJP now.
TJP.
It might
No.
still be.
So
TJP.
there was a rumor going around, like when they first brought him back a few months ago to get Chris Sabin ready for Slammiversary. It was Chris Sabin for like 2 months,
Oh.
and then they put it to somebody else.
Maybe.
That'd be cool.
Speaking of him, did he
The bet-
wrestle? Did Machine Guns wrestle?
No, they're
No,
No,
doing-
they're wrestling next week.
they're setting up next
Oh,
week
okay.
against the North,
Okay,
which
that
is
should
gonna be a good
that
match.
should be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
The best thing I think they ever did with Suicide was when you had that Feast or Fired thing that they would do. And the running gag the first couple years was Christopher Daniels would always get fired somehow.
Yeah. and
The
then
first
Curry
time
Man
he
came.
got fired, the second time Curry Man got fired, and then he came back as Suicide at the Curry Man, and then finally comes back as himself, and he does a little Suicide handgun gesture up to his face. He just mouths, "I never left."
Didn't Austin Aries, he came up as Suicide one time? Like he took the mask off.
Possibly.
Yeah, that was a big storyline back when Hogan was like GM and stuff,
Yeah.
and Bully Ray was the TNA champion. Austin Aries was Suicide for a couple months. He won the X Division title and goes to say, I'm going to option C, goes to cash it in, announces when, rips off the masks. And yeah, it was Aries at one point.
I know
Yeah.
Kazarian was for a
it was
while.
Kazarian, yeah.
Yeah.
Sonata, or not Sonata, the other Japanese guy they had for a while.
Oh, I forget. Yeah.
Nosawa, maybe? I don't remember.
Yeah, he's in All Japan
Mhm.
now.
Anything else in Impact you want to cover, Curtis?
No, that's basically just getting excited for Immersion because both of those shows are going to be good.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Impact. I didn't watch last week, but the week before was fantastic. This week was good, but it wasn't, like I said, it didn't knock my socks off. But it was a good show.
No, it was a decent show. It's better than Raw and SmackDown.
It goes
so
quick.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's a much quicker show to watch. It's easier. It's much easier watch.
It's only 2 hours.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into
Wednesday night.
the Wednesday night here. Did you watch any
NXT,
of the
was
Wednesday night AEW NXT?
No,
No?
I didn't get time to.
All right, go ahead, Brian. Take us away.
So NXT starts with Karrion Kross defeating Danny Burch. That was one of the many people Kross had laid out last week. He was going for revenge. Obviously, he does not get it.
You know, it
Kross
wasn't
gets the win here.
bad. I was like, you know who looks better in this match? Danny Burch.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Danny Burch is good.
Killer Cross would be good if it was the 80s. He's
Yeah.
a big dude.
Mhm.
He doesn't really do much moves. Comes out with a hot girl. But and then that bell rings. Like
And then
he's not
here's
like
the thing
offensively
that,
bad. Then it gets bad. Go ahead. Oh yeah, his finisher sucks. A sleeper? Come on now.
Yeah, I don't get the sleeper. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
He should
At
have-
least slam him
he
first.
should
And
have
then
a slam
and
move.
then
He
put him
should
in
have
a
a slam
sleeper.
move. Yeah.
And then we had some things.
Well, yes, we did.
We
So,
had some things.
so for you guys have to listen. Brian does not like the supernatural in pro wrestling when they do like
I want to go back in time and stop the Undertaker from ever happening. I made this determination.
like when people
Um,
teleport and turn the lights off and on. Or
You know,
they-
I don't like a lot of it either, unless it's just like when Matt Hardy does his own thing, like the final deletion. Then that's okay because it's tongue in cheek. But when it's to be taken
Right.
seriously, it's like
I was in the room with you, Tony. I love the
Stadium Stampede.
Stadium Showdown. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was
Yeah.
very tongue in cheek. It was good comedy. Like
it wasn't to be taken
WWE
serious.
comedy is bad
Yes.
comedy. Like
Yeah.
that was good comedy.
But this is to be taken serious.
Yeah.
What's
So
about to
Keith Lee
happen.
comes out after the match, and he's basically saying, "I have a contract here. Regal signed it. I signed it. You need to sign it." He calls Killer Cross a bitch, and so Killer Cross signs it very oddly.
Yeah, very odd. He held the pen like straight up and down. I was like, what? Who writes like that?
Like,
A demon.
He's writing runes, probably.
Yeah, that's why I texted my friend right away. I'm like, watch how he signs his name on this because no one writes like that.
Or either that, he was
I
or
heard
he
you
was
talking
setting a
about that
detonator
earlier,
of some
but I
sort.
feel like Baltimore would probably write. That's how he holds his wallet.
Oh, really?
Bibbidi boppity boo.
So Scarlett hands the contract back. It's in a folder, and Keith Lee just kind of stands there weirdly. Why is he standing there like that?
yeah, and she's just
And,
staring.
yeah, he's just staring. He like looks down. He opens up the folder, and whoosh! There's a fireball.
in the
They used a
contract.
magic
In the
fireball
She
spell.
cast the spell when she was staring at him.
Yeah.
She's a witch.
I know what's his name was blown away, like
Oh, that-
shocked
that-
how they how
that
they, how they-
Cody kid.
and
He-
I was like,
he's-
man, that's like a very.
I wish
common
I
fa-
was like that and I loved everything.
I
that
know.
happened.
He's so pure. I
Yeah.
love it.
Why don't they just do that in every match? Like, why don't they just
Yeah, why didn't they just throw
everywhere?
fire? Like when the weapons match being why don't you just bring a gun and shoot the guy
Yeah,
and then just pin him?
absolutely.
You know?
No hold
it's
bar.
it's not weapons match but guns.
Yeah.
You know.
Like, if I were the Undertaker when I was wrestling Brock Lesnar, I just would have shot a lightning bolt. At him. I
Yeah.
would've beat
Or
him.
just turn the lights off, beat him up, turn the lights back on.
Yeah, but you could shoot with lightning bolt.
You know when Undertaker lost? Undertaker, I'll just keep his urn there. He has eternal
the urn,
power.
yeah, the urn. Well, Paul Bearer has him. He's dead
Yeah,
because he was buried in concrete.
yeah.
By the Undertaker.
By the Undertaker. With his
Well, no,
urn.
he came back and then he was left in a freezer.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I
That's
forgot
like
about that.
And then CM Punk has got his ashes
Uh,
somehow.
Oh god.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah, so this was not good.
well, here's the thing
So
with
then
it
we
too.
had
All right, now once again, maybe I'm just being overcritical, but so he gets a fireball to the eyes, right?
Yeah.
And then he just won't stay still, so medical attention
Yeah.
will work on him, right? To the point where they're like, "No, man, can you put something over your face because we're gonna put makeup on it? We gotta like hide your
You gotta
face,
sell this here.
right?" So then he finally calms down, and he tells all of the medical team to go away.
Yeah.
So his wife in jogging pants and a pair of Timberland boots
Can help him out.
Can give him the medical attention he needs after a fireball.
Now, when
hits him.
Dusty got the fireball, he was down, and then he sold it for like 2 months.
Yeah. Well, but I'm saying he all of you trained medical.
Yeah, I don't need your help.
Get away. I need me a yim.
I need this ghetto hood rat's help.
I need.
the Sandman took a cigarette to the eye and he had the smartest audience in the world and thinking he was shoot blind.
Yeah.
So it's just like awesome. And then they show the makeup afterwards, and he has a black eye.
Well, it punched him in the face. It was a forceful fire.
Yeah.
That's the spell she casted. Wait, it's Killer Cross versus the Fiend. You wait.
Honestly, I'm more excited for Pat McAfee, Adam Cole than I am the Killer Cross. And
Wait till Pat
it's-
McAfee wins the world title when he beats Braun.
Oh, is Pat McAfee gonna have magic powers now? too?
he might.
Ugh.
He's
So I
a-
don't know what happened yet. 'Cause I watched on Hulu and it was edited down to an hour, and they cut
Oh,
a lot
boy.
of stuff out.
It's-
So actually, like this happened, and there was a promo, and then there's an interview with Mia Yim saying Keith Lee's getting back from the hospital now. I'm like, but he just got burned in the face.
Yeah.
Like it's only been 5 minutes.
Yeah, she had to leave him so she
Yeah,
could go to her match.
they cut quite a bit out then because
But-
I thought there was a lot of this show seemed like a placeholder. It seemed very filler heavy.
Now
for
was the
me.
next match Mia Yim versus
No.
Okay then. I don't know what
The
happened
next-
next.
The next match was Drake Maverick against Killian Dane.
Oh, yeah, match.
Yeah, so this
Yeah,
is
and
this is about as much of a match as when the Good Brothers.
Yeah,
come
I was
out.
like, you know what? I kind of want to see this. I want to see Killian Dane throw Jake around, and then he doesn't because who comes out?
The Undisputed Era.
Undisputed Era.
And they come out and,
And
they
Cole's, yeah.
beat him up.
They come out and,
And
they beat
then,
the garbage out of him.
Yeah, and then also the next match was also not Mia Yim. It was Santos Escobar in a non-title match defeating Tyler Breeze.
So I wonder if anyone goes up and say, "Hey, you guys, we're just gonna edit your match out of the Hulu version." Why?
Yeah.
Well, Hulu needs space. Their servers are getting pretty backed up. You know, they just need the space.
Here's the thing that
But
I
there's
like
no
what you put
reason
up.
for it.
They're so angry at them for wearing masks and making fun of the Mexican lucha culture, but they don't wear their masks.
Yeah.
They don't even wear their masks. So it's like, well, what are you arguing? What
Yeah.
are you upset about here? What's your beef? So yeah,
That is very true.
Was the
I
match
didn't
any
even,
good?
it's all right.
That's what I figured.
I have to make a confession. I did not pay
Fast forward.
complete attention to the wrestling. I because I have YouTube TV, so I have a TV and then I have my laptop.
Okay.
So I had wrestling on the TV and then I had a hockey game on my laptop. So
Yeah.
I did not pay as close attention to things as normal. AEW, by the way, ratings wise, AEW won the week this week. They had 792,000 viewers. And then NXT was not even in the top 50 for 18 to 49.
No. So they're both
They
down
were at
now.
619,000.
Yeah, both
It was
down
a
from
big
last week.
sports night.
People
You
are
had
gonna watch back and
best,
think there are orbs flying around.
Yeah.
yeah, you had an NBA game had over 1 million, 1.2 million people. You had the hockey game I'm talking about had 764,000 people. So yeah, it was a busy night for us for TV.
Yeah.
So then we had Fandango did come down afterwards. So basically the three-way feud. It's the three Lucha guys against Breezango and Swerve. It looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. Swerving. They don't get
Yeah, they
along.
kinda
Because Swerve's the only
took-
guy who
took
beat
Drake
him.
out, put Swerve in.
He's the only guy who beat him during that tournament.
Oh, really?
Swerve is the only
Oh,
one to
okay.
have a win on him.
And then, as we talked about earlier, Mia Yim beat Indy Hartwell.
I thought that was a
they-
pretty good match, but Indy looks a little green yet.
Yeah.
I think she has a good look though.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, definitely. They
I didn't like
set
the
up
submission
like how
finisher.
they're
Oh, go ahead.
they set up how they're going to do the 5-person ladder match. So Priest is in, Bronson Reed is in, the winner of tonight's three-way was in, and then it's the people who lost and didn't get pinned or weren't involved in the fall in the three-ways are going to be in like 2 singles matches. Because I guess Dexter Loomis is legit hurt.
Yeah.
He really did hurt his ankle doing that flip out of the ring. And so they're doing Gargano and what's the guy's name from
Not really.
NXT UK?
Let's shoot it.
I didn't see him. Not Dragunov, right?
No, the guy that wrestled last week. I just can't think of his name.
Oh yes, the guy. He has like an old like Scottish beater gimmick. He reminds me
Yeah.
of Big Billy Buzik.
yes.
Because he
I was
got
gonna call him Big Billy Busey.
yeah,
That's fine. It's
Tom
gonna be
Tom something, not Latimer.
Rich Holland.
Rich Holland. I was way off. Yeah.
Not Tom Holland.
Yeah, he
not
comes out
Tom
with like a
Holland.
derby and a jacket. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be Rich
going on,
Holland
Big
against
Red?
Gargano, and Finn Balor against the person not involved in the fall later tonight. But before we did that, we had Bronson Reed beating Damian Priest.
Which wasn't bad, except for when Priest kind of didn't really move for the splash off the top. Still got hit. It's like,
Yeah.
is Damian Priest a vampire?
Who?
Is Damian Priest a vampire?
Who knows? He
I don't
doesn't.
know.
He doesn't.
He doesn't really have a gimmick. He's just like, I'm
Well,
I
the-
have a
the
really
real
deep
three-way
Scottie
should
Pippen
be,
voice, and I shoot fire arrows
yeah.
at the screen.
Yeah.
Wait till he's shooting
The-
real fire. Right fire. He'll team up with Killer Cross and
They'll be the
Scarlet.
Fire Boys.
Yeah.
And then go against a demon and like somebody else.
Match wasn't bad though for like.
And it should be Wizard Killer Cross with his witch girlfriend wife, and then the vampire Damian Priest against the demon Finn Balor with his demon powers, and then Timothy Thatcher. Just wrestling. The next match was the women's tag match. Mercedes Martinez and Aaliyah with Robert Stone beat Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter.
Oh, edited off of Hulu.
Yeah, which is
And then
shocking
the big
because
thing-
this is the end where Rhea Ripley comes down and has like a face-to-face.
Oh,
with,
because Mercedes
Yeah.
involved in
yeah,
last
and
week.
They kind of have a little bit of a scuffle.
Yeah.
And then as they start double teaming Rhea, Shotzi comes down. So it looks like they're going to do a
Oh.
Shotzi, Rhea, and
Mercedes and what's her name?
Mercedes and Aaliyah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's not even bad.
Okay.
I got caught up. I watched like 3 or 4 episodes of NXT today.
Listen, man. I like it, but I'm also bummed because I'm a huge Mercedes Martinez fan. But unfortunately, she's going to lose to Rhea Ripley.
Probably. I mean, maybe they'll win that tag
Yeah.
match.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm glad she's getting work.
I'm very happy she's getting work. I think she's super, super talented. I would like to see her in a title picture things, but it's just not in the cards for her, I don't think.
I don't see it.
I think your next one's going to be like I think what's her name?
She might do well in the Battle Royal on
Yeah.
SmackDown next week.
Yeah. I even want to see maybe her and Shayna mix it up again. I thought that'd have been
Yeah.
That'd
Yeah.
be fun.
fun. All right.
So then we had a Gargano home.
Just
thing
skip
where
this.
the-
It
I
was
thought that
horrible.
was stupid.
It's terrible.
I thought it was
Big
real
thing is
stupid.
they're kind of building the thing between Tegan and Candice.
And
Which
what's
is
with the
good.
Doc Hendricks picture on the wall? Like, is he gonna wrestle?
It was a callback to In Your
Yeah.
House.
Yeah, the in
but
your
I'm
house.
like, I don't get it. Like, there's no connection
Yeah.
between Johnny Gargano
He's
and
trying to
and
be clever.
Michael
Hey,
Hayes.
they're so stupid. I don't like this.
If anybody should be Michaels, because he's like Michaels. boy.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would make sense. I'm like, oh, he's a trainer there. Doc Hendricks nothing to do with NXT.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Michael Hayes. I don't
And
know.
then in the
I thought
main
it was
event, here, it was another 3-way qualifying. Cameron Grimes defeats Kushida and the returning Velveteen Dream.
stupid. Yeah, Cameron Grimes cut a promo earlier, and it was super annoying.
Yeah, he's not entertaining at all.
No, he's a good wrestler, but don't talk.
And I think they
And Dream
I think
doesn't
they-
win.
They kind of broke the streak. I think they kind of broke the streak here. The worst worker winning because I'm gonna guess I think Cameron Grimes is a little better than Dream.
Yes.
But Kushida takes the fall.
I know. I
of
was like,
course.
oh, poor
Poor
Kushida.
Then gets beat up by Dream.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so Dream's, I guess, they officially make him a bad guy.
Then
The
we have
match
Yeah.
wasn't
but
bad.
then we have Dream gets face to face with Finn Balor. So-
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
what are you doing here?
Because next week it's going to be Finn against Dream, the winners in the ladder match, and it's going to be Gargano against Rich Holland.
Oh,
Because
okay.
Dream's the guy that didn't get the fall, so yeah, that's why they're going to have a match next week.
So when Dream's almost beating Finn, Kushida will come out and stop it.
I don't know. Like I said, it was a lot. It was a lot of filler to find out what was going to happen closer to the pay per view,
Yeah.
and the show to me just didn't hit like last week's did.
Yeah, it was.
I
alright.
thought NXT was the better show last week. I do not feel that same way.
I think AEW was a better show by far. This
I
week.
agree.
Yeah.
I think AEW blows out of the water.
I
All
don't know.
right, so we're about 150 here. Let's try to get through AEW within
10 minutes. He means.
about 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. Young Bucks defeat Evil Uno and Stu Grayson in the opener. They got jumped before it, but they came back and got the win there.
This was a good match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very good match.
That spot
he
that
had
he did where he flipped over everybody, like where he flipped off the stage.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
landed on his feet was awesome.
Yeah, and the I almost called them the Smash Brothers. The Dark Order had they have really nice double teams, so it flowed really well.
Yeah, it was a good match.
And then the NJF segment where he's I don't like the whole campaign thing.
I don't
It does
either. I
nothing.
think it's.
I don't
stupid.
mind it. I don't mind the campaign.
I
thing.
understand it. Just it doesn't. He doesn't need it. Like he's already a gimmick in and of himself. He
Exactly.
doesn't need a gimmick on top of the gimmick.
Yeah, I don't.
That's like
he's
Cornette
al-
says, put
he's
a
al-
hat on a hat.
He's already a dick. You don't have to make him pretend he's Trump on top of
Yeah.
it. He's doing
Right.
just as I know that you're trying to play into what the media and
Yeah.
stuff, but he's already over as a heel. He doesn't need to do this presidential thing on top of it.
Right, like if you're doing the election gimmick because it's an election year, do it with the guy that's not over. Like do it with Sean Spears.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
All right.
Alex Marvez did an interview with Matthew Hardy backstage. They emphasized Matthew Hardy.
Yeah.
And so they did a little brawl with him and Sammy.
Well, he has a little bit of a character break too, where halfway he starts getting upset and angry, and he starts breaking
And he
into broken.
cycles. Yeah, and then he just does the big money Matt and
Yeah.
it's Matt Facts because he's even more broken because of the chair shot.
Yeah,
Concussion
Sammy throwing,
gimmick, yeah.
Sammy throwing it recklessly.
but they're playing it. He's
Yeah.
Sammy comes out later. We'll talk about.
Well, no, he beats up that referee. He's going, Sammy.
Yeah.
he beats up some ref.
Yeah, Mike Posey, that's right.
Yeah.
So we had the TNT title match with referee Mike Chioda.
Yeah, how
Mike
about
Chioda's
that?
your
Yeah,
referee
good.
here.
He's one of the guys that they fired during the pandemic. He was there for 33 years or 23
33 years.
33 years.
He was the referee there when they still WWF referee still had the blue shirt and the bow tie.
Wow.
That's how far back he goes.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's crazy. I wonder what the reason was to get rid of it. Hey, we just don't want you anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe an age thing. Vince doesn't like having old people on
Yeah.
his TV. Who knows? So then that match is the TNT Championship match. This was definitely my favorite match on either show
Yep.
this week.
Match of the week.
And
No, wait, no,
defeats
I
Scorpio
disagree.
Sky.
I lied. That's second place for me.
Okay.
It was a good match. It was a fantastic
Yeah, I thought it was
match.
very good, especially in the beginning. I'm like, hey, they're kicking ass here.
It's a fantastic match, but it's still second place to me.
No blood by Cody this week.
It's shocking. Now all
And
right. So here's the thing. I just want a quick pitch to everybody, and I know it's going to lead into the end of the show as well. So AEW does this thing where everyone kind of like, I feel like they're booking everyone to be even keel, so anyone can win at any time.
Yeah.
Which I don't.
No one gets over then.
No one gets over, but it's not like. But here's a problem where they bring some new guy in, like a big guy, and he tramples through everybody, and then he gets to the top and he loses to the champion.
Yeah.
But then the champion gets smashed by all the small guys coming in. It's
Yeah,
just
so it's like-
it's a weird booking thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, let's just keep moving.
That's kind of what they did with Flair, and Cody wants to be Ric Flair. So
Yeah.
that's what it comes down to.
Okay.
And he's the Prince of Pro Wrestling now.
Yeah.
That's
The,
what it
the
comes
new
to.
TV title or TNT title, it looks much better. It
Yeah,
does.
and then
Brody Lee had the old one.
Yeah,
and
which
it's
I
just,
so Brody Lee just shows up and goes, "I get a title shot next week because I have your old title."
Yeah. But you can just go up and challenge because apparently that's been done
Well,
before.
then what was the point of showing him his? I hated it.
I don't know why he had the old title. It doesn't make any sense.
It was stupid. Unless it's something that you didn't. You have to watch AEW Dark to see, or being the elite.
I no, because there's nothing on about the TNT. Cody has been on for a while, and Brody Lee only he's on yelling at the guy.
Well, they
so.
actually did promote it to go watch being the elite.
Yeah, they do
now.
it usually when the Young Bucks come out. They'll say
Yeah,
Being the
so
Elite comes on every Monday. At
You should
noon.
probably check it out because there's stuff that we don't explain, and it carries over to the show that you're actually participating in. So, which I'm not watching because it's just super gimmicky and slapstick comedy. It's just not for me. I want to see my guys get fireballs in the eye. I don't care about all that other stuff.
I just want to watch wrestling, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a show that has that? It's called New Japan. So then we had the AEW tag title match. It was Kenny Omega and Hangman beating the Jurassic Express.
No, I talked to several people, and everyone said the same thing. It just felt off.
It did.
Yeah, I got
Well,
two texts, and they both said the same thing. I go, yeah,
Well,
something's
I don't
not
understand
jiving.
why the over babyface team was using tactics from the third man to try to win.
Yeah, I was like, what's Marco turning heel? Marco
Yeah.
is getting very annoying.
Yeah.
So,
So
like,
I didn't.
I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
just
then
beat him
Kenny
up.
just slides out of the ring and gives him a
Yeah,
dragon
the
suplex.
dragon
which is nice.
suplex.
Yo,
like-
and Kenny saved Jungle
Oh,
Boy's life.
Well, I don't know if he didn't catch him or what happened
He
there.
caught him last second.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
Jungle Boy overshot the suicide dive.
Yeah, which is
at-
it's easy to do. So I was
Yeah.
like, well, I don't know who's at fault there, but I was like, oh, and it's like he got him.
He's
so.
lucky. Jungle Boy's lucky. He's a
He's going to
smaller
the first
guy
row, yeah.
because Kenny caught him from going into the barrier.
Yeah,
Like, because Kenny was like, "Oh shit, he's already there."
Yeah.
And he like grabbed him.
and they did two things. Like they powerbomb Marco into the people, and then there was immediately dive after it. I'm like, whoa,
there was
let
a
the
pa-
people process the powerbomb
It
first,
was
Yeah.
and
kind
then
of the
do a dive.
opposite of Cody and Scorpio with that, where they did too much. In this
Yeah.
match.
Yeah,
It
and then
was
at the
like-
very end, they botched this power bomb towards the end that
Yeah.
Jungle Boy took, and then when he took the actual power bomb, then like
Yeah,
Hangman
planted him.
spiked him.
Yeah.
it looked good.
And Luchasaurus is not that good.
No,
He's just not that good in the ring.
that whole double choke slam thing where he's
Yeah.
like holding the guy, he's like, "Come here."
Yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, like, and then he wants to be like, hey, I'm a big guy and you kick. I'm like, that's great, but it looks like you're kicking in slow motion.
He should go back to Big Brother.
Yeah.
What,
oh,
what's
God.
that, Curtis, what's that show? Is it Big Brother?
Oh,
yeah,
is it-
yeah. Curtis was talking about it earlier. Yeah.
Oh, he's muted.
Kurt, are you there?
We lost
Did
him.
we lose him?
Either we lost him or he's muted. So
Did he leave us?
maybe.
Oh, he left the chat, I think.
Oh wow, maybe he has some internet problems or something. Yeah, Luchasaurus was on Big Brother, our similar show.
I'm probably showing the entire stream.
No,
now.
it was Big Brother.
Oh, was it?
He
Okay.
on Big Brother. Yeah. And yeah, he was on there.
Like he has a
As
cool
was,
look and a cool gimmick, but man, start punching people instead of doing kicks that take 5 seconds.
And the funny thing with Impact in that is Dixie Carter always was a big fan of those reality shows. That's why she brought in Johnny Fairplay from
Oh
Survivor.
yeah, remember that? Yeah, and he was in Team
Jesse
Canada.
Jesse Goddard's was from Big Brother. He was there for a while.
TNA.
Sid's son was on Big Brother.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
So then we had the the tag thing. Well, actually, before that, we had the LAX guys, Santana Ortiz, pouring bleach all over the Best Friends ring gear.
Yeah. I hope they come out next
Just-
week with all spotty gear. You know, there's all
That would
white
be
spots
great.
all
Yeah,
over
some
them.
continuity, yeah. I could see that happening. That's
Yeah.
something that I could see them doing.
Well, his suitcase
And then
was
we had-
black
Yeah.
and white polka dots.
That was probably Chuck Taylor's.
Yeah.
And then we had the Young Bucks and FTR, and they're in there with Arn Tully, the Rock
I
and
like
Roll
this skit.
Express.
I liked it too. I don't know if someone said they didn't like it. I don't.
Someone said what? The guy from the Rock and Roll Express that didn't talk well.
Oh, Robert Gibson.
Someone said that it's that Ricky Morton didn't talk well. That's
I
how
thought
Ricky
he
Morton's
did.
talked his whole life.
I thought he was good.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good skit. I
You
liked
get
it.
your grandfather out and see if he can cut a promo.
Yeah, I thought it was. I actually liked this little spot here.
Yeah.
Get
and
your grandfather, see if he can do a Canadian district.
yeah. And totally was turning heel, even though like Arn just leaves, which still like opens up for 4 Horsemen in AEW.
Yeah.
But like,
And then FTR just beat up the Rock and Roll
Yeah,
Express.
which is
'cause they're
cool.
The old guys like a bum.
and people are like, well, what's it going to lead to? A match? Probably, because the Rock and Roll
Yeah.
Express still wrestle.
Yeah,
So
Why not?
I'm
Yeah.
all for it. And I'm sure the FTR is over the moon to wrestle the Rock and Roll Express.
absolutely.
Even them being 60s.
Oh, yeah.
I would be. I'm like, this is awesome.
hmm
Even though you get limited. But so maybe at the pay-per-view we get Rock and Roll Express versus FTR. And it's
I
kind
feel
of
like the pay-per-view, they've been pushing them as like they're the #1 team. I think this week you're going to get them and Kenny and Hangman.
oh, at the pay-per-view. Or maybe they beat
Yeah.
Rock and Roll Express next week then.
Yeah, I think before then. I think
Yeah.
before All Out,
I can see that.
you get them in the Rock and Rolls.
But yeah, I thought this segment was pretty good. It kind of shows FTR they're going to be heels. And then obviously they're going to fight the Young Bucks at some point.
Yeah.
So you have Jericho and Kyoto talking backstage, and he wants Kyoto to call it right down the middle.
Do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
I thought this was really good. And his jacket has gotten more orange.
Oh my god, that's my favorite part about
As
this
it
whole thing.
keeps
It's-
getting
Yeah.
more orange.
So he had orange juice dumped on him. Remember the old Stone Cold or the WWE where they dump stuff from the ceiling onto somebody? So Jericho has a $7,000 white jacket. Probably not 7,000, but they dump orange juice on it from the ceiling. And every week the jacket just gets more and more orange. Like it's like a stupid gimmick thing.
That's
but
a
it's,
goofy thing in wrestling that's actually good.
it's good.
Yeah.
It's done very well.
Yeah, that's a good touch. That's a fun part.
Yeah, so this
I-
is my match of the week right here. This match right here.
I had 3
Darn.
problems with it.
The $7,000 obligation match. Orange Cassidy defeats Chris Jericho.
Yeah. How about it? So the only thing I'm just going to jump to it, Chris Jericho forgot how to take a dragon screw leg whip.
Twice?
Yeah.
And almost destroyed his
And
knee.
then they went to do a third time, and I guess they were doing some spot, and like, what is Jericho doing? Like, you twist with it.
Yeah.
And then the finish, he should have rolled forward for his
Yeah.
thing. That's why that looked awkward. I'm like, oh, man.
But I will say this. This is a question I posed to the group a few weeks ago, a while ago. Can Orange Cassidy ever be the world champion?
I mean, he's over, but I don't know. Maybe.
He just took Jericho to
Yeah.
the, he just
If-
took
if
he
he-
took
if-
the
yeah.
former champ. When he legit needs to wrestle
Yeah, he's
and
great.
show his showcase, he's super
Yeah.
talented.
The only thing you
Yeah,
can say
I-
about
I've
him is
always-
he's small.
Yeah, especially Andy, obviously, but everybody else knows that he's a good wrestler. That's anybody that's watched Sakara knows who
But the thing
Orange
is
Cassidy knows he's a good wrestler.
Yeah.
he uses his gimmick to also maybe have you underestimate him, so that when he goes in there against somebody, he then can showcase his skills. To like, I mean, I'm talking about exactly what he is like to somebody to wrestling fans who act like they're. I'm sorry, that was a stupid
You're putting
explanation.
psychology behind his slothness.
And that's exactly what
And he
the whole
baits you
purpose
in.
of his character is.
Yeah.
But I can see him winning a title at some point.
Yeah, I could definitely see him being TNT champion.
Oh,
or
yeah,
tag champion
absolutely.
with somebody. The world
Absolutely
title is
TNT
like, I don't
champion.
know, but you never know. Maybe in 2 years, if he gets hot enough.
Yeah.
You know, the people, if there was a crowd, they would have ate this match up. They would
Yeah.
have loved it.
All right. Well, that'll do it for AEW there.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It was a good show. I thought AEW was better. Even though
I
watched the
agree.
end
I
on
think
NXT.
AEW was the better show.
And
this
I'd like
week.
to say Dakota Kai is looking super hot.
Dakota Kai.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm really into it. I watched 3 episodes of NXT today.
Curtis, what do you got to plug, brother?
Memory's not there
Oh my
anymore.
goodness.
Oh, he's still there.
There's
I got him back in.
Yes, I'm not dead. I'm still here. So we got PA Pile Driver Podcast. As always, episode 23 will be coming out this Sunday. All I can say is we're creeping up on our 25th episode. I would be out on the lookout for that because I have some big things planned for that. If you're a big fan of PPW, you're not going to want to miss that episode.
When are you gonna get me on your show?
Huh?
When am I coming on your show?
You were just on my show 5 episodes ago.
5 episodes ago. That's
Five
like a year
episodes
ago.
ago.
Yeah, 5 episodes. I know. I try to space out my interviews. Like I had all these interviews that I wanted to do, And then like I just started planning.
Do you
for
guys do stuff
college,
over the?
and-
Do you guys do over the? Oh, you're the. I mean, like before, just call in and hang out and talk wrestling with you.
Okay, yeah, I doors always open.
Let
the,
me know.
The thing is, we're so inconsistent. We typically don't know when we record. Sometimes it's 2 a.m. in the morning. It just depends.
Oh wow.
I'm not working. Just shoot a message. I might answer.
All right, and then but yeah, this is a lot of support. I appreciate all the support. Our Paul Bow episode is like exploding.
Nice.
Still, and that was a month ago.
Guy's a legend.
So yeah, and then I know this is wrestling. I just want to get my other plug out there. I did start another podcast for all you basketball fans. Rim Protector Podcast. Go give that a listen. It's me and my buddy Sean. We're both currently involved. I'm involved with college basketball. He's playing high school, so we talk a lot about that.
Cool. I would love to listen, but it would bring me back to days where I would go into a depression, so I cannot listen to that show right away. I have to mentally prepare myself. I ate, sleep, breathe, and lived basketball at one point in time, and not doing it, I just kind of stay away from it.
Yeah, I was that way too when I was my last like organized year of basketball was my freshman year of high school, and I haven't played since. So going back playing freshman year of college is definitely gonna be a big change for me, but I'm ready for it.
Wow. Yeah, they're talking in the chat. Apparently, the leak from AW tapings, the title change.
Yeah. Andy, do you want me to message you these?
Yes,
Yeah,
I'd
on the main
like to
chat?
know. Yeah.
Yeah, you could message the group, but I don't want to
Yeah.
spoil it for people listening.
Yeah,
I don't want to be
I'll
that
just,
guy.
I'm not gonna message Andy directly.
Mick Foley wins their world title.
Yeah, that's
I
exactly
heard
what it
that's
says.
gonna put
Adam
some
put
butts in
asses in.
seats.
Oh wait, there's no asses in the seats.
Actually, when they
Yeah, I guess there's not.
cut to Kazarian in the crowd, there was a lot of people
They
in
said
those
that
bleachers.
in the beginning. They said they invited some fans,
Yeah,
but they all had masks on. So
yeah. They're putting
What can you
people in
do?
those chairs.
why not?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if they sold tickets.
It's
but-
probably all friends and family
Yeah.
and stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
That's depressing. because
Yeah.
because of the part 2.
And you can put it in the group chat.
The other one's better here. The other one's better.
You can put them in the group
Oh,
chat.
that one's fantastic. My emotional roll goes, oh, yay!
Ooh,
Let me see.
That second one is wonderful. I was just looking to buy one of that person's
that's
shirts.
gonna be really good.
But that
I'm
person-
a big fan of that person.
I hope they sign that person.
Hmm.
Because
Wow.
I was going to buy one of
that
their
division
shirts.
really needs a person like that person. It's
Yeah.
gonna really take it off.
Definitely fire a couple of the nobodies.
Yeah, absolutely. Brian, what do you got to plug?
Murder My Dude is back. We are in season 4 now. We didn't do like a really famous case this week. It's Apartment 410, my dude. If you like one of those true crime things where it's very mysterious and kind of has that air to it, then you'll like this one because there's a lot of twists and turns. You'll never see it coming. And yeah, so check that one out. It's a fun show.
All right. Let's plug some
Hey,
fan.
it's seriously.
Let's plug some fan pages.
I felt like Brian Alvarez like that. Seriously, it's a fun show as always. So check it out.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Your favorite ones, the ones you remember the password for.
Yeah.
There's Andy's fan page that I have saved.
Okay.
Nice.
You can't forget the password on that one.
No, I can't.
Just make the password the name of the page.
I have an interviews with everyday people fan
Yes.
page. I have a Dame one.
I was going to say.
Adina Steele, I'm pretty sure. I still know the password for that one.
Someone's
Yeah.
going to
Gotta
like a
check.
current
She-
match coming up.
She just did this one workout the other day. She is getting jacked.
The deadlift.
No, the bench press.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, the dude she trains with, she's gonna be as big as him soon.
I know, my
She's
God.
getting huge.
He should wrestle.
Yeah, he should wrestle. He looks like Adam Cole but jacked.
Yeah, he should be the warrior. He
Yeah,
should be like the
100 what was the fake warrior?
Renegade.
Renegade, yeah.
Renegade. Or One Warrior Nation. most
yeah.
likely.
Yeah.
I was on shows with him.
He's a big dude, man. He has long hair too. He looks good.
Oh,
he had a great look if he went into wrestling. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
Trying to think of them. I have a lot.
We have your team ones too, where you and other fans and you dedicate stuff to like post to wrestlers.
Yeah. I forget the username for that one. But I'm trying to.
You should put them in a book.
I should.
You have your women wrestling page, right?
I think I still remember the
Yeah.
password to that one. I'm pretty sure I remember, but
We didn't do my champion thing.
We'll have to.
Well, we can do it next week because it was for the month of August.
Okay, we'll give you the Matt Damon bump this time. What
Yeah, hopefully we don't have another wrestler dying this week. We have to do an
yeah,
open.
what who are some of your, besides Dame, Adina, and Andy? Who are some of your other favorite independent stars you like?
Sicken from Riot City's Most Wanted. You did an interview with him.
You help facilitate that.
Yeah.
Let's see. When fans tag wrestlers, they see it and they say, "I'm gonna do interviews with that
He
show."
was
now.
in Chikara once for Young Lions Cup at Skull.
He did invite us to come down to his promotion too. I just gotta, when the whole the macaroni and cheese virus goes away.
Trying to think. I haven't been to shows, so I don't remember.
None of us have.
Very few people have.
You've actually been to more than I have in the past 2 months when you went
Yeah,
to
we
the
went that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
the outdoor
right.
one. How hot was that show?
It was hot.
Disgusting.
Yeah, it was in the shade then.
It was tough.
Yeah. So hopefully, everything goes. I don't foresee it anytime soon, but hopefully maybe this winter everything kind of maybe goes back to normal. But it's not looking good.
Hey, well, as long as you can get people inside for indie shows anyway.
Yeah.
If they let 200 people inside, that's pretty good for an indie show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you start a fan page for people who make vaccines? That might be the next thing.
All right.
Outbreak Wrestling on YouTube every
There you go.
Friday night. You can watch Outbreak Quarantine. You can watch me coming up. I have 3 matches coming up, I think. Maybe even 4. I can't tell you all the rest. They said don't spoil the matches, so I have some good matches coming up. And so do other people. There's some good.
Are they
there's some-
planning on doing anything with the title?
I don't think until.
They're gonna wait for the shows.
Well, he Cortez is not wrestling because of the thing, but then he became the head trainer at Monster Factory. So I don't
Oh,
know
nice.
what's going on there. If he's going to just do that, he's going to show it. We don't. It's kind of
up in the air.
Who know? Yeah, right now. So.
Yeah.
And
then
pro wrestling tees as well for Team Blue and Gold.
For Blue and Gold.
Hopefully-
shirts. And whenever I get a new shirt,
hopefully
we'll get up
Andy,
there.
we have some Andy shirts maybe coming soon.
Yeah. I got to forget of ideas. The only problem is I do Teespring, right? But I need to have shirts to take the shows when they do come back.
Yeah.
So
So
I can't be like, hey, go on there. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to buy it now.
you can have a Teespring,
I
Pro
did-
Wrestling Tees, and then get some made up.
Yeah, I did take a shirt to the guy at the Green Dragon who runs George's video games, and he hung one up. So he hangs up independent wrestler shirts. There's one of Dame's hanging up, and one
Nice.
of G-Raver, yeah. And I signed it. Matt Turner didn't sign it because he wasn't there. or anything. But anyway, that's pretty cool. So every time we go on George's games at the Green Dragon in Ephrata, right outside Ephrata, PA, you'll see more of my shirts hanging up.
You can also check out Andy. He was just on the Truth Behind Illusion.
Yeah, we did really good.
Yeah. You coming back this week?
Sure, yeah.
We're going to be doing local ghost stories, a few local ghost stories, but we're going to showcase the Gordon Mountain Ghost.
Yeah, we have stickers.
So we have stickers. We have a whole bunch of merch for that page. And you can go buy the Andy Cthulhu shirt. So every time you're a guest on the show, we turn you into a monster. We get you,
Yeah.
we monster you
Of
out.
some sort, yeah. So everybody, will come on, I just want the monster.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about nothing. I just want one of them fancy graphics.
Yeah. And then you can also check Andy out bi-weekly on Not Cool in High School.
Mm-hmm.
Last week's episode was pretty cool, man. It was
Yeah.
it was a giant debate.
There was a lot of video game talk.
Yeah, it was
So
fun.
who
I
knows?
liked the debate.
I didn't even talk
talk.
about my comic books I read, and I have even more. So
That
I
is
know.
what I'm just counting down the minutes to playing Fall Guys again. That's my new obsession.
I seen it, and I was like, oh, MMO.
Did you see, I guess, kind of what we talked about that was rumored, kind of been leaked by comicbook.com, where PlayStation, I guess more developers are coming out saying that their games are not playing the way they want them to play on the PlayStation, and they're having a hard time putting
Oh,
them.
no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they're having some issues
no.
with developing on PlayStation, and they're also saying that, like, the Resident Evil team has kind of been quoted by saying, like, we can't get our game to run in 4K on the PS5.
Oh, okay.
Like, they just can't. Like,
Which
it
is
just-
fine with me. Because it's fine for 2 reasons. I'm not going to play it because it looks shitty, and I don't have 4K.
Yeah, and well, I mean that's a big deal if you're buying a new generation and it can't play, and it's a bit higher price point than
Yeah.
their competitor. That's gonna be interesting. But I guess they're gonna do kind of what they did with the PS4 Pro. And I know this is not the same show, but we talked about it where PS4 Pro used to do checkerboard rendering where it kind of faked 4K.
Yeah.
That's what they're kind of like. All the developers are trying to find out how they can do that now on the new PS5 because they're having issues hitting those goals.
I always see the
Which-
thing about a secret game that they announced.
Yeah,
I was
they're
like,
supposed to be having another.
well, what news is that?
Yeah, they're trying to put another title out, maybe alongside of Spider-Man Miles
Yeah.
Morales. Yeah.
Well, who knows?
All right, that'll do it here for Tornado Tag Podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like, share, subscribe. Check out the links below. Follow us on all social media. We are on the quest right now to hit 1,000 people on Instagram. So if you screenshot our last post and put it on your story, try to get us up to 1,000. Help us out. Maybe if we hit that goal, we'll do like a shirt giveaway or something. We'll figure something out. But thank you guys for the support. That'll do it. Tornado Tag Podcast. We're out of here.